Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I am your host here, Chantele Francis. And underneath me today is my lovely co-host, Brazil. Say hi, Brazil.
Hello.
And we have a repeat offender. We have Karyn that wants to be coming back to hang out with us again to talk about our favorite show, Love Island USA Season 2, Episode 27. Now, if this is your first time on Reality Realness, well, then welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you have not, subscribe right down below. We are on our mission to get to 1,000 subscribers by October 18th. And then I will start pulling some really great guests and interviews. So if you want to see some cool reality stars on this channel, let's get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So overall thoughts, Karyn, on the episode. You texted me quite that you had some opinions. So
well,
overall.
Mainly because it was like feeding off what we had talked about before. First, I will say the whole time I just felt awful for Laurel. Like I feel bad for Laurel. I was like, poor girl. Like as soon as he went on 2 dates, I'm like, bye. Like he's gone. Like if Carrington's reputation shows anything, it's that I just felt bad for the whole time. I just kept saying, oh, poor Laurel, poor Laurel. So that was my main like takeaway. And then like, of course, what I said when I was like, Johnny needs to do a grand gesture, and look what he's doing. He's doing this big elaborate thing. I was like, oh yeah, maybe it is true what you said. Like they're literally gonna make it look like they've overcome adversity and they're the couple to choose. And then I was thinking about you, Brazil, and I was like, okay, I'm really trying to see the love between Justine and Caleb, and I still don't really, but at the same time, I see that I feel like we're being manipulated a little bit by the producers. They're literally showing, I was like, Caleb and Justine bore me. Like they're boring. Their conversations suck, but they're only showing like 2 conversations and they're lame. I was like, is this how they do this? Lay around and like talk, like it's so lame. Whereas there's so much more passion and fun and between Sally and Johnny, but that's because they're showing that, right? So I'm just like, like I don't know. Our favorite
Jayquan. I know. Jayquan, hi, how are you? What are your thoughts of the episode? I know you're gonna have tons of thoughts today. Brazil might get angry today. Brazil,
I'm trying.
Do you have any overall thoughts, or do you want to just get right into this episode?
Let's get right into it. I'll spare you both.
Okay, so basically they start with the heart monitor scene, and the 2 girls come into the villa. And so the girls are part of this revealing of the heart rates. Now, we did talk a little bit about the fact that like sometimes there was 2 girls there and their heart rate obviously is going to be different because like you got 2 girls like making out with you at the same time. So, and it's not your girlfriend and the girlfriend's watching, like, you know, it definitely would be room for them to be raising their heart rate. So what did you think about how the results were?
Me?
Yes. Oh, sure. Brazil. So Carrington, his heart rate went up the most for Lakeyrn. How'd you feel about that?
Not surprised. I was mostly surprised about Caleb's going up for Laurel.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Hi, Anna. Oh my God, I have something to show you from her.
Okay, Anna says, love you guys, but I just know I'm only going to agree with Brazil. I don't want to be triggered. No.
I'm triggered.
Oh my gosh. Anna, okay, we were just talking about the reality of this show, and we're also talking about different perspectives here. I know Brazil gets triggered too just by the look at me sometimes. She won't even listen. She'll pull out her earphones so she doesn't hear me. So know that if you're triggered, you're not triggered alone. Brazil is here with you, and she appreciates the support. Don't fear that pretty much everybody always is supporting Brazil, and it's usually me and Jayquan out on an island. And so just know though that we want Brazil. We want Justine and Caleb to do well. We just don't know if there's chemistry.
Remind me to show you something that Anna sent me last night, or I think she sent it yesterday, but I just saw it last night. It's T confirming Johnny as a
escort.
Yeah, via Lauren and her friends.
Oh yeah, but is it the one where you can't really see his face?
You can, in the video I saw, you can see, like, definitely same beard, like, you can tell it's him.
Oh gosh. Okay, Jayquan says, I think that they show Moira a little bit too much. That's why they don't show Justine and Caleb as much, is because they show her fake drama. Well, I think they show her fake drama because what we've been talking about, and a lot of people have been pretty much up in arms about the fact that they're not fairly portraying the relationship between Caleb and Justine. And it's being speculated that it's because they're both Black. And I was saying this from the very beginning, even before there was any Casa Amor drama, that I didn't think that CBS and America would allow a Black couple to be the winner of the show. And it just seems as though this is kind of what they are, how they're manipulating us by, you know, allowing Johnny to do these grand gestures. Like, why couldn't they have given Caleb and Justine the facilities to do some grand gesture? You know what I mean? So I don't know, Karyn, what do you
hideaway? Are you kidding me?
It does seem like they did hide the hideaway. What do you think in general though about these allegations, Karyn?
I mean, I think it just is bizarre to me, because if any time is the time to let a Black couple win or do, like, manipulate something, it's to do it now. Like, make it, this is the time to make your network, like, stand out and shine and go with what's actually happening, that's going on in the world. But so I find that crazy that is a thing. Like, I just think that's so awful. Like, just, and then but then I can see that it's that it is going that way. Like, I don't know if it's because they don't want a Black couple winning, because they're both ethnic. Like, she's Latina, he's half Black, so I'm not sure. Like,
no, it's the Black thing for sure.
Really?
And that she's a darker skinned Black woman. They're definitely, out of all the skin tones, are going to be more highly, like, racially profiled, we'll say, as not being desirable, or, you know what I mean?
Like, that's just so frustrating. So, like, and then I can see that it's happening, and I'm just more naive, where I'm like, they're just picking this, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just like, it's so ridiculous. So I think that's just maddening. So it's just another reason, if they don't win because you love them as a couple, and now they don't win because they're doing it because of their color, then a more reason to boycott, you know? Now we'll never watch, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
I know. Well, I was saying to Brazil, like, because Brazil was saying, like, you know, if they don't win, she's going to stop watching the show. But then I was kind of thinking of the perspective, it's like, maybe we need to be sending letters or doing something to show them that we're up in arms, but not allow them to cancel the show, and then no Black people will get any opportunities that way. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I was hoping that, like, I get it. I think the sentiment is great to be like, to make a stand and be like, we're not watching your show anymore. But then it does also take away the opportunity, which I don't agree with. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, well, CBS is going to get screwed, but no, it's really maybe the next Black contestant that might go on there that would maybe have an opportunity to find love that will get screwed because they don't have the show anymore. So I don't think that we win by the show shutting down, but we do want to make a statement somehow. So we were thinking maybe finding a change.org or something, or like creating one.
I think for CBS in general, because like I was saying yesterday about Big Brother, it's like really bothersome as well. And I think it seems to be a CBS thing now.
It's happening in Big Brother too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of
happening.
stuff.
And
hi, Divine me. How are you doing?
Hi, Divine.
Yay.
Yeah. This season in Big Brother is like super gross, so.
Oh.
Well, and what ends up happening,
the other day.
I think that they need to, okay, so they apparently did some racial, some bias training, what's the word I want? Okay, well, anyways, they did some training of like how to treat other people or whatever, how to treat people of other races, whatever, apparently. But I don't think that their crew and the production team and the producers are actually also going through this training. So yes, maybe the players know that, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be saying certain things or whatnot. But I don't think that the editors realize, like, oh, when they tell this storyline, they just decide to show all the Black people in really negative lights. And then they show, you know, the white people in great lights. You know what I mean? They don't like realize that they might even be doing it because it's so subliminal, all these kind of implicit biases. So that's what's going on with CBS for Big Brother, and I think that that's also could be what's happening here. I don't know if the producers like, no, we don't want a Black couple, but I also don't know if they are in support of it. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a good, interesting comment. Anna, where is this tea from? Anna says, apparently Carrington has a baby on the
What?
way.
Oh my god.
Holy cow. I mean, I'm not surprised. You haven't seen the episode. Like, I started doing these thumbnails, and so this thumbnail is Carrington a playa? Is my thumbnail for this one. So this may be a thing, and maybe Laurel is going to get out lucky.
He's the date guy. Of course, he's the player. Like, he's the date guy. He's the date guy.
I mean, I wrote that down because I thought that was really funny. Jayquan says he's looking for a stepmother already. Dang. Wow. That man moves fast.
That poor child.
I mean, I did love whose heart rates ran up for who's the one that I was like, I love how Laurel's was Calvin.
I mean, okay, how is that a possibility? Like, I was saying, I don't know if you watched yesterday, but I felt that he looks like Woody from Toy Story.
Well, and they made Bennett a plumber. I was like, plumbers aren't sexy. Like, you're carrying a plunger.
Right?
Gross.
Well, Bennett, like, in his little George Michael cross earring, like, he's just not, and it's like, riding on his lip, like he's just not sexy. I mean, it's already not sexy for guys to really use a pole. For my 40th birthday, we went to the Fox's Den, and we got like lap dances and like those strippers, male strippers, and it was just like bad. Like the guys are just like, and like just like barefoot with like their shirts off and jeans.
Barefoot?
Yes, and like they're swinging around the pole. And so like I was drunk, and so I decided to push him down on the chair that was supposed to be for me, and I gave the dance. I was like, "Fuck this!" I'm like, no thanks. I'll do that. I'll entertain myself here.
Oh,
So that's my story. Hi, Mary. How are you?
hi, Mary.
Oh, Rachel's here. Hi, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, who else here? Oh, someone new. Hey, Dar. Hi, nice to meet you. Fashion question you can ask, but I don't know if I'll answer. Love live. Hi, how are you? So she likes the guys after the girls are interested. Oh, we're talking about Moira. We must be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what like I've been saying even from before. It's like she was cock blocking Aaron, or Kirsten with Aaron. Like it's just like she only finds interest in guys after, you know, another girl may have some interest in them, and then she's all in on them, and then she loses interest in them, and then she cries about it.
And Caleb was her fastest heart rate.
I mean, he was hot.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is today I watched the very, very, very first episode, and it's funny to watch Moira because she's like, I just want to make out everybody, and I'm get boy crazy and blah blah blah, and then in the end they no one steps forward for a guy, and then the guy, what was his name, James, chose her, and then he's like, oh, I really like you, and then she's like, oh, I like you. All of a sudden she wasn't interested in him, and then she liked him. It's like as soon as someone's interested in her, he just has to say 3 words to her. It's like, I like you, you're pretty, and she's like, oh my god, yeah, I like you too, and then. That was when she was her happiest, though. I will say she made a mistake by getting rid of him and letting him deal whatever. I get he was crazy kind of for a minute, but that was when she was the most happy and normal. I was like, there's she was, but now she's just gone. Like, watching her at the beginning was so funny. Like today, I just watched it randomly.
Well, another thing that it seems to get her is that pretty much every single guy says that, oh, and you look so good without makeup. Like that's like what I think it was 3 guys that have said this to her, correct?
They all look awful without makeup on.
3.
They all look awful without makeup. Except Kirsten, she looks okay, but all the horrible skin, they all contour so much that it makes their face look totally different. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah,
but I get it. You're on TV, so.
I mean, I would I don't look bad without makeup, but like I'd look like this.
I don't even know how to contour, so they'd be like I wouldn't look different, but I would.
You wouldn't be invited onto the show then.
Yeah, no, I would not be on the show. No,
I'm just kidding. Okay, so who do you think, ladies, would have gotten your heart rate up the most out of what you witnessed?
Caleb.
I would say Caleb or Carrington. Carrington was pretty good.
Or you like Carrington? We were debating whether or not he actually has a banana in his pants.
Who cares? It's just the way he's just like, he was like, I just gyrated and humped and did this. And I was like, yeah, you did. It was just funny.
Yeah, you did.
With the two new girls, though, I didn't really find either of them pretty. I thought that the Julia had a really nice body and her butt was amazing, but she's pretty. Obviously, they're both gorgeous, but like I was just like, no, they're not that pretty. You know what I mean? Like I know every single girl in my life I think is equally or more pretty than they are. You know?
I don't think they had anything on the OG girls.
Yeah, I agree. Even
Moira.
Moira.
Meh. And then now, but after you went on the date with them, I was like, oh, she was really pretty, or like she looked good, like her dress was cute, and she had like a nice bum. Like I really thought she was pretty, but I didn't think the other girl was too pretty. But it's so funny when they were on their date. I was like, oh my god, like it's just too funny, Carrington.
Like, well, this is what Love Live or Love Live said, or let's call her Nick. Nick says, Carrington, after every date with a woman, I'm feeling you sexually. Everything is always sexual with him. It's true. Yeah. And that grosses me out. If it's like a first date, I don't want the guy to say anything about vibing with me sexually. Because it's like, well, I'm not going to have sex with you tonight or like the next time we meet, or probably not even the time we meet after that, if I'm looking for something more than just a hookup, you know? So that would be a big turnoff. What about you, Brazil? Like, would that be a turnoff for you?
Yeah, it's all pretty surface level.
Yeah. Oh my god, people are so annoying. Jayquan says, did you all do the 30 question thing yet on the app? We can go through that if we have time. We can go through those questions.
Yes.
Deja, hi Deja. Moira needs to go ASAP. Yes, we know. I think it's coming though. There must be a recoupling after this episode, or the one after. So maybe
for Sunday, guaranteed for Sunday. They always do Sunday? They always do the big bangs on Sunday.
But like maybe a Friday and a Sunday. Like they can't choose.
They'll do another cliffhanger.
4 days though with Moira in the house still. Come on, come on.
I'm telling you, Sundays are the big episodes.
So Anna says, I'm wondering if Moira has been cheated on, and that's why she seems to always put herself in competition with other girls, even though she's emotionally unavailable. I think that she's always been friend zoned, or she's been the third wheel maybe with friends in relationships. And so like maybe her best friend or all of her girlfriends always get the guy and she just never gets the guy. And so I think that she just might be like, well, no, I want to get the guy this time. Like I can get the guy. And so I think that's where she's coming from a little bit. What do you guys think?
I mean, it's possible that like that's why she's emotionally unavailable, but she hasn't mentioned anything about really like being cheated on, whereas most of the other girls have kind of dropped that. They're like, they want people to know that that's why they're damaged is because of cheaters, right? So she doesn't really mention that, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
What do you think, Brazil?
I don't know. She's kind of an enigma. I can't really figure it out.
Come on, she's a Pisces. Pisces ladies, figure this lady out for me. Help me understand her.
I've said time and time again, I am not associated with Moira. I'm not associated with Mercedes.
I know Mercedes is also a Pisces, Karyn, and so is Cher.
Wow. Well, those girls are more up front. Like I'm up front. Like you don't have to figure me out. You just ask me, I'm going to tell you. So it's like that. Moira's like you're just like, what the heck? Like she says I think she said like 5 sentences for the past 3 weeks. Like I don't understand. She's nothing like. Where's the depth?
Right? I don't know. She's definitely very surface level, but in a way that's like, why is she being so surface level when she's not like that bombshell pretty where you're just like, oh, well, they're really pretty. That's why they don't have any depth. You know what I mean? Like I would assume that she would have more depth, but maybe that's what she's experienced is that her friends who don't have any depth have been able to get the guys. And so maybe she's just trying to be like more of an airhead type thing to hopefully like snag the boy. I don't know. I'm really just rationalizing out of my ass. Like, I don't know. I don't. Who cares? Why are we talking about her?
Yeah.
Jayquan says Moira supposedly just came out of the 9-year relationship. Someone said in the interview. I forgot who.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. She did say that.
Yeah.
9
She
years.
probably just doesn't know who she is. Like she's probably
So
if you've been in a 9-year relationship, you're whoever that what you were only knew that yourself with that person. So she's probably still figuring out, even though she's older, like one of the older ones.
She's 26, so she started dating someone when she was like 16.
17.
It's probably her high school sweetheart.
Right?
Oh no.
And
Oh,
so
no.
You know what
she-
happens when they come out of relationships? They don't know what's going on in the world.
Well, she definitely probably has never had other guys really be interested in her. She's always been kind of closed off, probably because she's been in a relationship and she's probably really only experienced one guy, maybe another guy before that, but probably not. And so, yeah, maybe her inexperience is like not allowing her to connect with anybody in a normal fashion. Divine says, Caleb, of course, look at the body, look at the smile, look at the whole package. Okay.
Yeah, he's so tall and good looking.
Oh, he's so fine.
I mean, he's really good looking, and like I don't know if you guys are gonna kill me, Brazil might, but I think that Johnny was kind of the hottest. Like, I know we were making fun of the fact that he kind of came out stomping and it was so like aggressive and kind of weird. But I did find like his that he has some rhythm and he can move. And that's something that I would be looking for in a potential partner. Caleb was being a little bit silly and goofy, which is cute, but I didn't necessarily see the sexiness of his movements. Obviously, he has a hot body. Obviously, he has a hot face. So all around, like, yeah, that's my man. He's hot. But if I'm talking about like somebody that I'm like, okay, you're kind of sexy, I think it would be more so Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay, Brazil?
I mean, Caleb just has to stand there and look hot, but he didn't have like his moves weren't like bang, like like you're looking for something that's like very sexy, like that's like doing sexy things.
Yeah,
he was kind of being goofy about it, which is cute. Like I love
cute.
him, but yeah,
it's cute. And like if I was dating him, like I would be like, oh my god, good, like he's doing the perfect thing. I don't want him to be doing something too weird and gyrating, but like
yeah.
I would hope though that we could have seen a little bit of his dancing ability to see if he has like some groove, because that's a deal breaker.
They also didn't show like as much of Caleb as they did Johnny.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's also one of the things I was like looking. I'm like, oh, I want to see what he has to Justine. Like, I wanted to see that. Like, and I feel like it was just a lot more like quick shots and snapshots, and like I couldn't really see their connection. That's what that's what I'm looking for right now. I want to see these moments so I can judge their connection.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't show Moira very much either because she probably was not being very sexy.
I also think that Moira looked the worst out of everybody. Like, I was saying yesterday to Brazil, like, just do some little braids in your hair or something just to look like you didn't just throw on a dress for a Halloween type costume challenge. It just seemed a little bit underwhelming in my opinion, but then so is she, pretty much.
She's the picture on the episode though.
Oh, I didn't notice that
on CBS. It's her like on the pole. I'm like,
oh really?
Yeah.
So we're saying that nepotism is real. We think that somebody is related to Moira at CBS because there is no reason for her to get so much airtime and still getting the votes. Like, how is she getting the votes?
I have no idea. I haven't met one person that likes Moira.
No one. So also for heart rates, we have Bennett likes Julia. Calvin liked Sally, which I thought was interesting.
He said, but his excuse was that his head was a stick shift. She was like,
you know what though I didn't think was fair was that the guys got like their heart rate from other girls. Like I wanted to know who got their heart rate up, not these strangers. Like I was like, who was gonna do it besides them? I was wondering out of the group. Like I was like, oh, that's annoying, right?
That's what I was saying to Chantele because I was like, honestly, the boys knowing that the girls are up there watching, and like I thought Johnny for sure was going to be one to have his heart rate higher, like specifically
anxious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought that was also kind of unfair. I think they should have done, but I mean, honestly, they're not doing it for us. They're doing it for views,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Caleb was most shocked by Laurel. So Laurel got his heart rate going.
Honestly, I think Laurel did really good. We talked about this. I think she did have that shock and awe factor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so team Laurel, just like what Karyn was saying.
Yeah.
She's such I think she's a really cute, she's just a cutie, and she's sweet, she's pretty, like she's nice, like she's just like a cutie.
As Murad would say, genuine. She's so genuine.
Yeah, and she got roped right into like Carrington can't help but feel bad for her, you know?
Absolutely. So with the girls, so Justine actually gets the text to find out all the heart rates. Justine thought Carrington got her heart rate going the most, which is interesting. Moira, it was Caleb, interesting as well. Kirsten, Carrington, we knew that was going to be happening.
Yeah.
Laurel was for Calvin. I think you already mentioned that, which I just still think is weird. Like, how does anybody think Calvin is?
I think he likes him. I think that if it doesn't work out with...
I didn't hear either of you.
Go ahead.
Did you hear what they said after? Both the girls were like, "Oh my god, like Calvin has swag. Did you see him?"
I
like,
know.
But people have been saying this, Karyn. Like I've been like all these after interviews are like, "Oh yeah, Calvin, like he's so funny. He has such swag," and I'm like, "Where? Like, does it just not translate on television? It doesn't show up? Like, I don't know. I see zero swag. Like on the swag factor.
Swag, but I would say he's got this like charming kind of boyish like smile, like kind of look. Like he's got this, but it's not. I wouldn't swag. No, I feel like zero, but I don't know. Everyone says it, so.
Zero. I think zero as well. Like maybe a 1. But like I just don't see him being able to get any girl. You know what I mean? Like when I think of someone that has swag, it's like someone that like has so much charm, charisma, smooth, knows how to talk, like gets girl to be like, "Oh my god, like love him." Like, you know, like they have some like charm. And I just don't feel like the charm that he has is, in my opinion, what I describe as swag at all. Mary says Caleb fire and Carrington was surprisingly good. I mean, I didn't really find Carrington good. I didn't enjoy it. Whatever. He was okay, and I can understand why people thought he was hot, but I was like, I think it's because he's too young looking.
Too boyish, yeah.
Too boy. And maybe that's also why I don't like Calvin. He looks too much like a little boy.
Absolutely.
Little toy boy. Anna says CBS keeps having glitches and resetting the polls.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go. Here we fucking go.
Anna.
She's getting all the scoop, eh? Like, where do people find this information out?
Anna, are you finding all this out on Reddit? Like, how do you get all the tea so quick?
No, I'm sure she's probably trying to like go back and look at it.
But even before though, she has like the tea about lots of things.
I know. That's why Anna's probably, she's VIP.
Jay just says, "I'm over Johnny stolen Luke and Shawnee's proposal. I see it straight through Johnny and his baby oil. Don't kill me."
So shiny.
I need to report a murder. Deja just murdered Johnny.
Oh my god. Like when he came out though, he was a lot too oiled for sure. That was like, a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, it's a lot of oil. We will talk more about that, and I was going to compare them to this moment as well. So we will talk more about that in a bit. Nick says, yeah, she's never mentioned being cheated on. She's just not emotionally or physically into any of the men. She's bland. She just likes to be told she looks good.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
tell her she's
Moira.
Pretty, she likes you. Yeah, that's true.
Or for that day, anyways. Anna laughing. She's 28. Yeah, she's 28. So if she's been in a relationship since she's like 19 years old, I mean, I can understand. No, I don't know. Actually, I was going to rationalize, but I'm not.
I'm 28, and if I was in a relationship since I was 19, I would not go on Love Island. I would be so out of my element.
So intimidating.
Like, I dated my last long-term ex for like 3 years ended when I was 24, and I am still so upset that I stayed with him that long, and I was completely like a fish out of water until I was like 26. And then I got right back into it. But
No, she's someone. You're right. There's nepotism for sure. Like, it's weird.
It's so weird.
Someone's like, go on the show, I'll get you on. And she's like, okay.
You have nothing to do this summer. Come on.
Yeah.
Jayquan says, Anna, I think it's because the East Coast watches the show at 9 and the West Coast have to wait until it's their time. I don't know what the glitch is that Anna's talking about specifically to be able to speak on it.
Should I try now and see if it glitches?
Well, it is true that like we only have half an hour regardless of your time zone. I was thinking that it would still like I would be able to vote at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time.
This one's not half an hour. This one's all day.
Okay, perfect. Check it out and then we'll look through those questions.
Yeah, okay.
And first look should be up, shouldn't it? Should be.
I haven't got the notification yet. But...
Me neither. Caleb's dimples melts me. Honestly, they melt all of us. Caleb, out of all the guys, is someone who I'd want to have the relationship with in the house. Like, I think we would vibe super well. I know that I'm being biased because he's Aquarius, but like, he's just good, man. He's good peeps. Good peeps.
I'm a Pisces and I would still make it work, okay, girl?
but your partner right now, though, he's a Libra, correct?
Sagittarius.
Oh, fire. Never mind. Oh, yeah. I remember now. I remember.
It's already glitching on the first question.
Oh, really?
I picked Justine and it won't load.
Stop your noise.
I swear to God, look. It won't load.
Oh, my God.
I mean, if you pick somebody else, does it load? Stop. You picked Moira? It only loads for Moira?
Yeah. Immediately.
It's already completely glitching. It's not letting me.
Anna says they reset them twice, Jayquan.
Because they didn't get the answers they wanted. It's a 12-hour Polapalooza, so we can all do it until 10 p.m. tonight. I'm assuming 10 p.m. your time.
I think it's both times. Like it's in your time zone as well because when you watch the show, it's open. So I think I was trying to. That's what I was saying. Like I tried at 12:30 or at 12 midnight, and I wasn't able to. It was already done over here. So it does take into account to whatever your IP address or VPN, whatever that shit is. Like it takes into that account when it gives you the time period. So
I'm gonna try another one and see if I'm gonna pick Caleb.
Divide me, Johnny the hottest. They didn't show much of Caleb. Okay, he does have a sex appeal to it, but I think that he could use his body better than maybe Caleb can. You know, I think that he might have maybe a little more practice. He might be a little bit more a hoe. But he seems to have the dance moves, and I'm a sucker for a good dancer. Jayquan says, I normally check them to see what people voted for. I probably missed one there. Anna says, Caleb cannot dance. Aha. Have you not seen his trailers?
Trailers, yeah.
Love him though.
Yeah, I think he's not really that type of guy. Like he's not the type that's gonna get up and like dance at like he's just not that type.
But like I think though that he would like do a little bit of a two-step with me, you know what I mean? So I can get by. But like Johnny though would actually like do a little dance.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the fun stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I want that. Unfortunately. Margot, hi Margot. So Benny was way harder than Johnny. The tats are questionable, but still. Margot, I don't know if I can go with you here. I can't go down this road with you. I can go down the road with Caleb for sure, but I didn't find Benny attractive at all.
Johnny is smoking hot. Like you just see him, he's hot. Like he's got some good looking traits.
He's hot enough that like even with all this action that's happened with him and like him being an asshole, like I'm still kind of like, well, he's kind of cute still.
I mean, I'm over it. Like I'm like back on Sully Johnny train. I don't care. He forgave him. Why am I going to hold him? It's not my problem.
Exactly, it's true.
I think he's hot.
I do think he's hot, and like I do like seeing them together. I'm sorry, like I do. I like whether it's contrived, whether he's fake, it's phony. She's getting played. Everybody's dragging her. Like whether that's all true or not, I see a connection between them.
Mm-hmm. I don't think. I mean, it looks real to me, but you're right. If I'm being played then too, and I'm perfectly fine with it. So I really get the
Nick says, "I see through Johnny's BS. He's in it for the money, and he's doing it to grab the audience." Sure, but I don't mind their interactions. You know what I mean? It's like, so are we going to be dragging Moira? If Moira was just there for the money and for like, screen time. Like, we don't care though that much. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, we don't like Moira. We don't want her to be here, but we don't like hate on her. Well, we do hate on her a lot, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? I really liked Moira in the beginning. I thought she was cute and sweet, and now I just find her totally annoying and just like I can't. I'm like, get off! Like, shut up! Like, it's so funny, like how quickly it just went downhill. Johnny, it's been. I was disappointed in him, but it's been the same. I'm like,
exactly. It's because he's so hot, and they have a palpable connection. Like their handshake. You know what I mean? Like he lets her paint her nails.
Fun.
Like they're fun. They're enjoyable. I
will die if he takes the money and she gets none. Like, I will be like, this is the craziest Love Island ever.
We were saying that we wanted Selly to get back with Johnny and then in the end take the money, and we would be like, go girl, go
like
girl.
If Caleb and Justine make it to the end, they would never do that. They're like good people. They would just be like, we're sharing, whether they're in love or not. They wouldn't do that to each other, Whereas, I can't see the same. Like Johnny might just be too greedy and want to just get famous. Who knows?
I mean, he already has about over 200,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, he's climbing up in the world, eh? Yeah, he's going to be famous when he gets out.
He started in the 100,000s though, so it's not like he started at like 4,000. Like he started high. Yeah. But he definitely has the highest out of all the guys. And so maybe that's why CBS is trying to have him be the star as well. And Selly, I should let you hear that, but she's a really good singer actually, and she's done a few covers that are on her YouTube channel, and she's actually pretty good. So they might want them just to be the couple because like they are the most famous out of all the people that are on the show as well.
They're currently doing a reality spin-off of Love Island with Selly and Johnny.
Oh, I mean, I'll watch it. I was like, really? Ooh, what?
Oh my God.
What? Like, what?
I'm so excited. That would be so good, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I think that they just see that both Selly and Johnny, I know we're not liking Johnny, but they're both stars, and like they have something that like I want to watch them. I want to root for them. I want to see how Selly's going to react to things. Like Selly is the life of the villa, in my opinion. She is the one. I think that without Selly there, the show would have probably been boring. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm on the Selly train. I'm not on the Johnny train.
I get it.
Yeah.
Get it. But I mean, Johnny's like the type of guys that I fucking deal with. So maybe I should get off Johnny train because like it's not working out for me.
Please do. Please abort.
I mean, I did now. So hopefully more Calebs will come into my life now.
Those are your Aquariuses. Those are your folk. So.
Yeah, I love Aquarius. I love Libra. I love Gemini. I love Sag. I love Leo. I love Aries.
Everyone but Pisces.
Everyone. Yeah.
Literally everyone but Pisces.
I know. I didn't name any Pisces or like any water or any or Earth. So they just don't get along that well. Like
Karyn, I need you here like every episode.
I'm starting to feel a little bit of this gangbang vibe going on here.
Gangbang! Whoa. This isn't Casa Amor here.
I'm leaving.
But no, I mean, I have dated some Virgo men, and I do like the kind of manliness that they kind of give off. Like they're very stable and grounded and very financially sound and like their fitness and stuff. But then I'm like bored. So, but
you're describing my dad. My dad's a hard Virgo,
and that's how he is.
Mm-hmm. But guess who has the same birthday as my dad?
Carrington. No, I'm just kidding. He's not a Virgo.
Andrew.
Oh my God, yeah, we knew this. Oh boy. Andrew's another guy that we played these games with, and like he's actually a little bit cuckoo, we'll say, a little bit. And so yeah, with her dad. Is your dad anything like Andrew?
No, polar opposite.
Okay. Nick says Calvin reminds me of a gay best friend. Sorry, LOL. Yeah, pretty much. He doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like for him to have swagger, he doesn't have any sex.
Yeah, he doesn't have that like manly, like come here, girl. Like
get over here. I'll push you on the bed, but like not in a joking way. You know?
Can we talk about how Carrington and I were born on the same Air Force base?
Yes. We're probably gonna get to a date like now. Yeah, go for it. I thought that was pretty crazy. So Brazil was very anti Carrington in the beginning. Obviously, most of us were. His intro package was pretty distasteful, and like nobody really liked this playboy version of himself that he's presenting. And then we started to like him a little bit more, especially because Brazil grew up as like, I guess, an army brat. Is that what the term is, Brazil?
Yes, but Air Force brat.
Air Force brat. So she, wasn't born in the States. She's been traveling around from when she was younger. And so when she learned this about Carrington, she started to realize like, oh, maybe this is why he doesn't get close to people, because they're always leaving or he's always leaving. And so she started having a little more of a heart's understanding as to where Carrington was coming from. And then when he's on the date with Julia, he says that he was born in Germany, and so was she. And it was the same Air Force base she's saying that she was born at. And so even more of a connection. Do you think your father and his father know each other?
How old's Carrington?
23?
No. Depending on how long his parents, he had two parents there. So, well, he said both in the Air Force. So if he had two parents there, it's likely that they were there for longer. But my dad, my mom was born and raised in England. And so when he went to Germany, that's where he met my mom. Like, they were like on a sabbatical in Greece. My mom was a nurse in Greece. So they like met there. So my dad and I and my mom didn't stay in Germany for very long. So yeah, I don't know. It depends on like if both of his parents were in Germany, then he probably was there for a while, and possibly, but I'm not sure. Because my dad would have left in 94 to New York. So, or to Italy and then New York. So probably not, unless they were there for a long period of time. But
I mean, I don't know how that world works at all, but like, don't you know people that are in the Air Force as well? Like, I don't know. I feel like I know or heard of people.
It's super random. On the base my brother was born in New York. One of my very good friends at work, Rowena, her husband is the same age as my dad, and they actually closed the Air Force base. It's near Buffalo, but they were there the same exact year, but didn't know each other because they did completely different things. So you can be on the same base and still not know each other.
Yeah.
Depending on what department you're in. So he was in IT. My dad built nuclear weapons. So it was a little complete department difference. So yeah, I don't know, but it's crazy. Like I've never met anyone that was born in Germany also. And there's only one main Air Force base in Germany, and it's Landstuhl. So
well, maybe you should send him a message.
I mean, I'm going to do a little bit of research and see if maybe you guys, like maybe he was the best man at the wedding, his dad. You never know.
I'll ask my dad. Yeah, now I know his dad's name's Jose, so I'll ask my dad.
Is his last name Rodriguez?
His last name is Hispanic. I'm not sure. I forget what his last name is.
It could be
Rodriguez today. I was looking because I was just quickly.
It might be. Yeah, it's something like that. So I'll ask my dad, but yeah, it's funny.
That's a pretty small world.
Crazy. When he said he was born in Germany, I like rewind. I was like, did he just fucking say Germany? And it's Air Force? Because I knew he has a military background, but I didn't know Air Force specifically. And like Air Force people are like so like tight knit. So yeah.
Twitter is so you're finding all your tea on Twitter. I mean, I feel like I follow everybody, but I don't find all this stuff. I mean, other than Noah's extracurricular activities, or not extracurricular, but work activities. Jayquan says Jada, the producers probably help him with it because how he get her the flowers. Yeah, absolutely. Like with the date, we'll probably go into more depth about the date, but they do have to have some conversation with the producers of some sort. And so that's kind of what I was saying, is that producers want Johnny to do this, so they allowed him to. And I'm sure, I don't know if Caleb, if he wanted to do the same thing, if the producers would let Caleb be able to show this grand gesture to Justine.
Well, just like Carrington's date with Laurel, like they gave him the charcuterie board.
Right? Exactly. So I was surprised that they both chose Carrington. Do you think that was just like storyline, or just to make Laurel upset? Like, why do you think they both chose him?
I don't know. I thought that was weird too. I was like, okay, like, I don't know. I'm surprised.
I did not like that.
No.
Me neither. And poor little cutie pie Laurel. I'm just like so sad, and like she understands why they're going for him because he's such a good guy. And I'm like, he's not that good of a guy.
Julia said she was feeling Bennett, so I'm surprised she didn't choose him. Like, why did she? I just don't understand why she chose Carrington. Like, I don't know.
I don't know, because maybe they did bond over that one little thing, and I don't know.
So the new girls are coming in, whatever, and Moira is starting to get her old Moira self, and she's like, oh, maybe I should kiss Calvin tonight. Do you know how bad that looks, in my opinion, of like just women in general? Like, you know, she doesn't like this guy. She friend-zoned him. Calvin calls her out on it because she does end up coming on to him in the bed.
He goes,
and the
interesting. Uh-huh.
And he's like, what in tarnation is going through her head? That's literally what he said.
The rest of America also wants to know.
Well, and 2 minutes ago, you're basically asking the girlfriends to support you in backstabbing Kirsten so you can go get Bennett. Now you're trying to make out with Calvin so that he doesn't lose your attention? Are you insane?
She straight friend-zoned him. She straight friend-zoned him and said, I'm interested in Bennett.
After he said that, like, he was interested in getting to know her a little bit more. She's like, actually, I'm interested in getting to know Bennett. And then, like, I don't know what happened really with her and Bennett, like, for her not to still be pursuing it. But then to be like, oh, new girls are in the villa. Oh, I better go and...
Who's the girl? Who's Bennett's ex-girlfriend? Because it sounds like she's kind of like I don't know who she is, an Instagram famous star. Because then if Moira found that out, she's probably like, no, like, I can't deal with someone that's dated someone like that. Whereas Kirsten could kind of hold up to that kind of competition.
I think Kirsten can hold up to the competition, but I think that what Chantele has been saying is pretty accurate, and she's kind of like a frenemy, and I think she does know about Summer Rae. Her name's Summer Rae. She has like 20 million followers. She's like a InstaFit model. She dated Drake apparently, and I don't know, like Drake beat the shit out of him. There's like I'll show you pictures. Anna sent it to me.
I forgot to Google her. I forgot, like, because I watched it last night and I was like, hey, I gotta Google that name, and then I totally forgot.
Well, I Googled Summer Rae, but I spelled it SUMMERRAE, and she's like a professional wrestler, and she's like pretty like
jacked.
So yeah. I was thinking, I was like, that doesn't seem right.
That's weird. And then Anna set me straight. So he got his ass beat. Oh yeah, here we go.
By Drake?
By Drake and Eunice.
Oh my God! Wow. Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
And apparently Adele Beckham Jr. in New York. So.
Mary says, Caleb's mom says his family notices what is going on, but is asking people to keep it positive on social because of his younger sisters. Aww.
What do you mean? Because of
race stuff, I think.
Race. Oh shoot. Aw.
That's so sad. I mean, and it's what is the most sad about it is that it's true. You know what I mean? Like I said from, I think, day one, I was like, they're never going to let a dark-skinned black woman win this show. I'm like, it's just not going to happen. I was
thinking, now's the time to let the black girl win. Like, now is the time to do it. Like, what is wrong with them? I don't understand.
Well, I was mostly thinking that America might not have voted that way, right? Yeah. Just because, like, not everybody that would be watching the show would be that woke or that socially conscious, and so they might just, vote with what they think is to be the right choice, But now it feels like it's being a little more heavy-handed with with producers, and so
crazy.
Oh, I mean, it sucks so for these younger girls, but I mean, it's going to be something that they have to learn about. I mean, especially in 2020, it's a reality.
They're obviously going to get backlash from it. So why would you want to have, like, I mean, I guess bad publicity, still publicity, whatever. But like, when this is all said and done, and if they don't win and they're the clear winners, that's all that they're going to talk about is that.
But it goes deeper than just maybe like production saying that they don't want to have a black couple as the winners. It has to do with like any maybe ads, like people like that are doing advertising in their show time slots and whatnot. Like sometimes they don't want certain people to be representing their brand. And so if like the ad people start pulling their ads, you know what I mean? It's a bigger chain as to maybe why they wouldn't be having people of color be the dominant winner. I think it's because it hasn't been financially good or better for them to have a black couple. And it's because we're not used to it. We don't see it. Like, it's just not what happens. So they just don't get the same amount of recognition. And so they don't want their ratings to go down. They don't want their people to pull their ads and commercials and stuff like that. And so it's also about the money money part of it too, unfortunately.
And on top of that, I think they're trying to make it to where they're not a clear winner.
They are doing that for sure. For sure.
Because they're showing like Johnny asked Kelly to be the girlfriend. How do they not show the hideaway? Like they're making it to where
it's crazy.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to make it to where we can't say they're a clear winner.
And they're trying to make it look like their relationship isn't really that solid, really. Like to me, they don't look like they look boring. They don't look like they're gonna make it. So, but then the shocker for me probably is that the relationship is probably much more moved along than I would think if they're not showing the hideaway. You know what I mean? Like that, and that the group supported them to go on the hideaway. We didn't get to see that too because they choose who gets to go on the hideaway. So that means all that group was like, you guys get to go. Like you're so great. You need the time alone. Like we didn't get to see that. That's shady, man.
Yeah, it is shady.
Mm-hmm.
It's shady. So Deja says to Jayquan, you are probably right, but why do they give him the Dollar Tree flowers when they keep doing them damn Caesar Palace commercials every 5 minutes? Yeah, I mean, they could have upped him with the props, I guess. I don't know why his props were so low budget, but I don't know.
P.S. I love the narrator, like, because Johnny wears like the tiniest shorts ever, and the other day he made a comment about it. He's like, and now Johnny's gonna get tinier shorts, and then the guy's like, not possible. Like,
he also, another thing he said that I wrote down that was funny was, well, Johnny wears a giant tortilla chip. His like swashbuckler hat. I thought it was funny. He's gotten better. I've always thought the guy Ian Sterling in the UK, I always thought, oh yeah, he's so funny, he's hilarious, you know what I mean? And then season 1 of Love Island, I was like, oh, this guy sucks. Like, he's not funny at all. And now I think that whatever he's done, maybe he's practiced or maybe he's giving a little more creative license. I don't know, but he's definitely funny now.
The second half of the season, he's picked it up for sure.
Absolutely.
I've laughed a few times.
So Jayquan says, Deja, times are hard at the moment. Normally when they win challenges, they win things. This season, no one won anything. That's true. They would win like a date or something though, right? What else have they won?
No, that's true. I forgot about that.
Deja says, I don't see a connection between Laurel and Carrington. I do. I think that they're like, I kind of look at the kisses, right? And see if there's like a lingering, like attraction, like the spark between it. And so I do see with him and Laurel that there is a little bit of a little sizzle in that kiss. Or like maybe she's just a better kisser. I don't know. But like remember with Kirsten, she's like she does that weird thing because she doesn't want to give tongue on the first date.
She does that with everyone. She does that with all
no tongue on day one.
But it's like, I mean, you don't have to give tongue in order to give a good kiss on the first time you kiss somebody. Like you don't have to be sticking your tongue down their throat. No. Anyways, I still have to find it for you, Brazil. Her kiss, her like.
I noticed it's the first
time. You can control the kiss. Like you can control how you open your mouth and whether or not to let their tongue in. Like you can control the kiss. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess she doesn't want anyone licking your teeth.
Gross. Jayquan says, as the producers finally listening to the audience and trying to get Moira and out, Carrington choosing Lakeyrn over and Calvin choosing Laurel.
Jayquan.
This is interesting. Let's think about this. I don't think he's going to choose Lakeyrn. I mean, I know that they bonded on their date. What did you guys think about the whole Bachelor style where first he starts on a date with Julia and then she gets bored, walks over and he's like, can I steal him for a minute?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
You have to have them. I would have been upset. I would have asked the producers, can I not be sitting 10 feet away from that date? Because it looks so stupid. She's sitting there listening to everything. Like, she can hear. They're in the middle of a fucking mountain. Like, she can hear everything. She knows exactly, like, how he's responding to her. I feel like she knows that if she wants to manipulate the situation, she can, like, either bring up a different conversation or, like, twist, if, like, she was going to say something and she heard him react, like, not in a positive way, then she could, like, not bring that up again. I just think it was so stupid. Like, have them wait inside with all of you. why put her at a different table 10 feet away? I think that was very poor judgment.
Well, that is
sloppy.
kind of the style of Love Island UK. They tend to do that sometimes when there's a double date, so like two, like they'll have them close by. And I've seen them do this before multiple times, having dates very close proximity with like waiting for the guy to come over to you after. So I've seen it before.
I mean, I think they did that with Calvin. Sorry, go ahead.
It should just be like I was like taken aback too when she got up and walked over. I was like, what is she doing? Like, that's weird. I'm like, why wouldn't they just say, okay, you get two 20-minute dates, like you get 20 minutes and then you move on, go and talk to him. Like, I thought it was silly.
And I see what you're saying, Chantele, if they have another boy there and then they switch.
Yeah.
But when you just have one person sitting there listening by themselves, like that's kind of awkward.
Maybe also it was because she was supposed to pick like they've never really had someone choose the same guy for both dates. So maybe they had two tables because she was supposed to be with someone else, and then like, well, whatever, I'm not moving.
Maybe it was a big
good point.
Yeah, actually, Karyn, that's actually a very good point. Maybe they were like, well, you guys should have picked two people, and you don't, and here's the consequence.
And I'm sure that the producers urged her to go in and intercept that date.
Yeah, and they're like, we're not going to move the table. You're going to sit this ass freaking close and sucks to you.
You should have chose somebody else.
Yeah.
So you just said, sorry. What's wrong?
Nothing. In 10 minutes, I just got a message. I have to talk to my doctor, but it should just be a few minutes if I go.
No probs.
0 dark 30.
No problemo. So Jay just says, do you guys think that it was interesting how Calvin opened up to Lakeyrn so easy after only having one conversation?
Yeah.
Yes, I do think it was a little bit weird, but I think it's just because what they were talking about, they could relate to, like he could relate immediately on. And so if Laurel was talking about like, oh my God, I have an autistic brother,
right,
he would say, oh my God, my cousin is, and so it's not him just like giving information willy-nilly because he's just like, just telling everything about himself. No, it's just, they did happen to relate on a few specific facts when she was probably talking about it herself and him agreeing that he has similarities in his life. So I don't think that it was him being that open. I think that they just happened to be connecting on certain issues. You're agreeing, Karyn?
Yeah, 100%. I was like, because she was like, why did they have? I'm like, pretty sure the girl probably brought it up, and he was just saying, yeah, like not once would Carrington talk. He probably doesn't want to talk about like his mom being divorced 3 times and he having an autistic, like he does, probably it's not something he wants to talk about, but then when it comes up, he's like, oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. Like it's one of those things. I was like, I don't think that he was getting deep because he wanted to get deep with that girl specifically.
I agree with both of you. I just still felt empathy towards Laurel for them being together for 2.5 weeks and like and then him being like, yeah, we bonded over this and this. And like, he couldn't even tell that her eye color, how many siblings she had, like things like that building up. I can totally see where she's coming from, but I think you're right. Like in the sense that it was just like kind of like a weird thing to bring up. And then they both bonded over it. And yeah.
No, 100%. I would be feeling the same way if I were Laurel, but it's just because of what had come out of their conversations. Right. If she had watched their date and was like, oh, well, she brought up something and he was able to, see something in his life that was similar, and that's why she was able to learn that information. She would probably feel a lot better about what they were talking about. It wasn't him being like, yeah, I'm so close to you and I've only known you for 5 minutes, that I want to tell you all these really personal things about me. It wasn't that at all. I just get that she's just she's kind of misinformed, we'll say.
But I do think now that sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was gonna remind me about Carrington. Just
I feel like now that he had that connection, though, it's kind of made him think, oh, like that those things could be really important. Like I feel like now he looked totally like lost after that. Like he was looked like he was a smitten kitten that might get swayed now. Like he just looked like he was like, this is what I could be looking for, is someone with more commonality and like a bigger picture. I don't think Carrington once has looked for bigger picture anything, and now she said these things, and I think it opened up a little bit of a world for him that he wasn't really thinking about before.
He said it did peel back a layer, so it shows that he considers himself layered, which we've known. But The one thing that bothered me though about that conversation is that he still refers to himself as a city boy, and then he was like, yeah, I can't see myself like moving to like a small town or whatever, and she was like in Alabama.
I'm like, Alabama's probably pretty big.
I'm like, bitch, sit down. Alabama, I guarantee you, has bigger cities than Utah does. So
well, like, I'm sure Alabama has like 20 million people. Like, it's probably huge.
he's
I have
from
no idea, but
Utah, and he calls himself a city boy.
I was like, when he said Utah, I was like, oh, Carrington.
I mean, I don't even know like the jokiness of Utah. I've never been there. I don't know anybody from there.
They have amazing ski lodges and snowboarding.
It looks
resorts,
beautiful.
but it's beautiful, but it's not. I would never in my life, being from San Francisco and then living in LA, would consider anyone from Utah a city person.
Nobody does. I don't think anybody does.
Well, maybe with the horse and buggy. You know, like, let's go to town on the horse. I'm just assuming everybody's like a Mennonite or whatever.
Or like he has a car and everyone else is a horse and buggy, so he's a city boy.
Maybe. Yeah. Like, yeah, maybe he's not like, what's the other religion that's there?
Mormon.
So maybe he's not Mormon. So maybe him not being Mormon would allow him to feel as though he's city. That makes sense.
You can't judge someone in Alabama for.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
No. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm looking up how many people are in Alabama. Oh my God, there's 5 million people in Alabama. Sorry, Priscilla, I didn't mean to yell as soon as you're like,
yeah, she's like, okay.
5 million people, that's more than in Toronto. You know what I mean? So
you're still
it's not
okay.
that small at all. Hi, Johnny, how are you? No, it just so happened that she brought stuff up that he cared about. Absolutely. And that's what we're kind of saying here as well, Johnny, is that, you know, it sucks that they were able to go and have a deeper conversation. And as you're saying, you know, they're able to peel back that layer and like his head might be turned because they were able to get a little bit more connected. And so that is probably what Laurel really means, what she's getting upset about. It's kind of like she hasn't been able to figure out how they can connect on something so they can go deeper, which kind of sucks. But like, what could they connect him on? Like, he's pretty, there's nothing to him really. Like, she tried to talk to him about backpacking in Europe and he had no idea what that was. Like, you know, she couldn't talk about travel with them. He was able to bond with Lakeyrn over headbanging at an EDM concert.
I know. And like, I was like, oh, he likes EDM. Like, I didn't even know that either. So,
I mean,
I don't know.
Carrington killed that dance. Johnny, you like Carrington's dance. All right. Jayquan says, I think Carrington always looks at Laurel as in a hookup because she was in Casa Amor and he was looking for fun, and talks about Lakeyrn. He had a connection from first glance. Oh, dear. It's a good point. Because the Casa Amor girls, one thing that they were saying in some of the exit interviews was that they felt as though they were like the strippers that were hired for the bachelor party. Right. And so maybe there was a level of seriousness with these girls that didn't exist because like they were just supposed to be their play toys or play
They were like temptation girls.
Right. And so maybe that's why he hasn't allowed himself to connect, because she's supposed to be the party, not the, the bona fide.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's sad though.
Yeah.
Deja says, I'm sorry, but Laurel crying every 5 minutes was annoying. Oh, Deja.
It was. She was like, oh, I don't even know. I'm crying over a guy I've only known for like 2 weeks. But I was like, it's not even sometimes about the guy. It's about not being chosen. It ends up being about really you.
Yeah.
Because
and that's the thing too.
You get so insecure that you end up getting upset with yourself. Like sometimes I'm like, you're not even crying over the guy. Like she's
probably not.
She's probably home and already doesn't care about Carrington. It's just
no,
like
it's still going on right now.
That moment of like not being chosen, that feeling.
Absolutely.
That
and
not the one.
If I were to look at Lakeyrn, and if I were Laurel and looking at Lakeyrn, I don't find Lakeyrn to be very attractive. I would think that I was better looking than Lakeyrn. So it's be like, oh my God, like how is somebody that I don't even think is prettier than me getting the guy that like I've been connecting with for the last couple of weeks? So
yeah, I've been investing my time in. Now he's gonna leave me for nothing. Like you just think you would just get like upset about that probably. I feel like, because I was like, there's no way either. 2 weeks.
So maybe we should talk about this before Brazil comes back. So what did you think about Caleb and Justine's conversation. So they're kind of lying on the couch, and she's like, you know, like when I fall fast, and like my love language is physical touch or whatever. And he basically said, you said it, noted. Like he kind of was like,
and he's like,
okay,
now we can go forward with our relationship. Now that we've talked about that, I'm like, talked about cuddling, how she wants you to, like, they're just so, their relationship just seems so like young and basic. Like, I'm just like, I feel like there's like, you have to work on that. Like you have to, and you've been together for this 2 weeks or whatever it is, and you already have to work on cuddling. Like that shouldn't be something you have to work on. Like,
absolutely.
it should just be like,
it's just instinctive.
That's bringing you close, you know? Like, I don't know.
Well, that's exactly how I feel too, is that whenever I've been kind of dating someone, like you automatically have, once they say yes to wanting to get to know you, like I feel like that in itself kind of gives you the freedom to figure out your groove together and how you feel comfortable together. You know what I mean? And like, it's not something that if I need to work on it, it's not working.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Cuddling, because like if you have to work on that, then you're like, okay, so tonight I'm going to put my arm around her. Like you have to tell yourself to do that.
Well, exactly. And I was saying to Brazil as well, I'm like, I don't think that it's necessarily Caleb's love language is to be all like super cuddly. Like maybe if there's certain people that he could be cuddly with, but it's not his first go is be like, let me go and like sit and cuddle with you. Like he's more likes to talk and like make little jokes, and like that's the way that he communicates his flirtiness is the way that he expresses his like love language, would say, you know? And so she wants to be like cuddled to make herself feel as though he likes her. I think he does like her, but the way that he shows his affection for her, she doesn't clock it as being what she wants, so she thinks that it's not happening. But like even like I felt like when he was giving her, like he was blowing, he's like what, like when they kiss, I thought that was him flirting and him like that's his kind of cuddle.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like that's like him being playful is showing her that he's into
like,
her.
I'm not talking to you all day now, and he's like, okay.
I mean, that was a cute moment, but sorry, go ahead.
Just to be the devil's advocate,
yeah,
if you are really, really trying, and he thinks, you know, she's wifey material, and he really wants to work on it. If that's like his headspace is at, and that's her, and her issue is that she's not getting enough affection from him, and he really thinks he can work on that, then I think that's great that they're communicating that. Like I do. I think like, okay, if he can work on that, then he can work on it. Like maybe he doesn't realize that's something, and if he really does want to cuddle with her, and he knows that it's not his thing he does naturally, then he can try. And if it works, and now maybe eventually it'll come naturally if he just keeps it try. But if it doesn't come naturally and you don't want to do it, and they want you to do it, you still don't want to do it, that's a sign. So they'll figure it out.
I mean, that's what my point is for the whole thing, is the whole trying part. And I'm happy that they want to work on it. I'm happy that they're willing to communicate and he wants to put in the effort. I think that's great. But that's why I think a lot of it feels a little bit forced. Like, I don't know when it happened. I think it was when, I can't remember, but Justine is sitting between his legs. And it just didn't look like Johnny and Sally when Sally's sitting on between his legs, you know, like Sally's just like comfortable in there. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not like, I don't know. It just seems
like staged. It doesn't look fun. They don't look like they're enjoying themselves together. That's all I say. Like, I don't know. There's no like love energy. Like there's no like I just don't see the back and forthness, but I'm trying.
Sorry, Brazil. I didn't put you back in. Sorry. Oh, you went to your phone.
I do like her. I do like him. I do like them.
Computer turned off out of nowhere. So here I am.
No problem. I mean, we talked about the most of it, but about the fact that the conversation between Justine and Caleb, and about how we both don't really see the spark within the relationship, especially in this moment. Like you shouldn't have to, you know, deal with cuddling in the first week. It should be something that's very natural. But we also were agreeing with it was great for the relationship that they were going to be working on it, or he was going to work on being a little bit more affectionate, we'll say. So what do you think?
Yeah, like, what's your thought on that conversation? Like, that conversation looked to me, I'm like, oh, it's so awkward. They don't look like there's any, like, love, like, there's no, like, love energy flowing back and forth, like, at all. He's just like, okay, she's laying there, he's laying there, and she's like, okay, I really live, and he's like, okay, noted. And then it's just like, that's the worst conversation I've ever even seen. But what's, like, do you think that looks like a great thing?
Say that again, Brazil?
At that communication, I would be happy.
But we're also kind of saying that, like, yes, it's good that they have this communication because something isn't working. But we're thinking that within the 2 weeks that they've been together, they should be, like, all over each other with, like, horny energy. Whenever I first meet somebody, like, I'm all over them. Like, I know that she might not want to do it for her family, so maybe she doesn't need to kiss them, but I would already be comfortable in their presence. You know what I mean?
Like, in 6 months from now, that's when they should be having a cuddle.
Maybe. Or like, oh, you don't cuddle me, and
you don't cuddle me anymore like you used to, because that's when the like sparks. But they don't even have. I just don't see the spark.
I don't see the spark either. I'm sorry, Brazil. I want you. Are you being mad? I'm just gonna mute you though because it's loud. And so yeah, I want to see. Oh, wait, are you back?
I love how
you're. Oh no, it was just because when you're moving it around, it was just making sounds. I thought you were plugging in your computer.
Yeah, I plugged in my headphones. I said I love how, like, you guys talk about this when I'm gone.
Well, I said that when you're gone because I didn't want you to get upset.
She's like, well, if she's not here, we should maybe just discuss.
Well, we just discussed it a little bit more, but we brought you in right away. But I wanted to go on about the fact that I don't see the vibe. I didn't want you to be offended or hurt.
You're editing me like CBS.
I mean, so anyways, just to reiterate, I like them. I want them to be working on their relationship. I'm happy that he's willing to take this constructive criticism about what's been going on in the relationship and move forward. But then I'm also at the same time feeling as though at the stage that they are in their relationship, this shouldn't be part of their conversation as of yet. I feel that they just should be more fun and excited to be in each other's company and not just to have someone's arm around you to feel that like, oh, like we're in a relationship now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see more of themselves come out. And that's what we fell in love with in the beginning with Johnny and Sally, is that they were goofy, they were silly. Like, we love that handshake. Like, where is that handshake? I want that handshake between Justine and Caleb, because right now it's always just these uncomfortable conversations about communication.
And that other conversation.
Why is it uncomfortable though? I feel like they're progressing. I don't feel like it's uncomfortable at all.
I don't find.
I feel as though it's awkward if they don't have those conversations and they feel that they're not comfortable with themselves to even have them. But it's like,
I'm saying to watch it. I'm saying to watch the conversation is uncomfortable because she's lying there. I'm not enjoying these conversations between them because I don't see the spark.
I guess I like the arc of it, like them like feeling not having the same love language like we've talked about, and then them working on it. Oh my God, Nala. Sorry, I have an infant named Nala who's a German.
It's a dog.
But you know what I mean? I feel like to me that's interesting. Like, them being so opposite, and I guess if you think like there's no spark, but them also figuring out a way to meet in the middle and then work towards that common goal of understanding each other, to me, that's very interesting.
I mean, I think it's really great that she's bringing it up, and he's like, okay, like, because he might not realize that that's what she needs, so he's gonna have to work on it. And now this is what I said to Chantele. Now he'll know, okay, this is what she wants, and if I want to cuddle her, and it comes naturally, then great. But if he doesn't, if it's too awkward for him to do it, then he's gonna know that it's not right, because he'd want to cuddle with the girl that he wants to be with, right? So it's good that they're like speaking about it and communicating about it. But like, literally the conversation was making me like cringe. And the conversation they had the other day when he was like, oh, you never open up about your like past relationships. And then it basically sounded like, I don't know. I was like, does she still like that guy? Kind of made it seem like she might still like her ex, because I don't know.
But
just because of distance.
Oh, Realnesss is here. Hold on. Hi, Realnesss.
Realnesss. Hi, girl.
how far begins are we? Far. Well, we're pretty much, I don't know, I have like 2.5 more pages of notes, so if that's what you mean. Have you been seeing Laurel on TV for 2.5 weeks? Yeah, I guess so. How long has the show been on? When did it start?
I want to say it started.
It's been at least a month.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're on episode 27, so that's going to be 4.5 weeks-ish.
Yeah.
No, 3.5 weeks.
7 times 3 is 21, and then 27, so almost 4 weeks.
Yeah, and they've missed. Well, technically it's been on for probably a bit over 4 weeks because they've missed an episode here and there, and then did like the double episode. But yeah, for the most part, it's been on almost a month.
Do you know what they didn't miss an episode?
Do my best to hold my phone.
I was how I figured it out was in Canada we do not get the unseen bits. And so that's why I was behind on my episode counts, because we didn't have the Saturday episode. So now I'm doing it to the CBS ones, including the Saturday one. And so yesterday was episode 27. So Lauren's show for 2.5 weeks. I'm really scared about that the finale winners will not be organically chosen. Yes, Realnesss, we are thinking the same thing as well, and we're very scared about this, but I wouldn't be surprised at all. Sorry, what were you going to say, Brazil?
I don't.
Probably about the conversation. You're going to ask me specifically about Justine and Caleb.
In the beginning, Karyn, I don't know if you watched like the episodes in the beginning. No pressure, but she was like, I'm just kidding. She was like saying that they'd have a hard time connecting because their love languages are so different, and because Justine, I don't know. I feel like I'm not like this. I don't know if you are too. If not, but you need that constant like touch and whatnot. And Chantele was saying that Caleb would prefer like a witty note, like, you know, the banter, something like the intellectual connection.
Yeah.
And so I guess what I'm asking Chantele is, I don't know how you don't see this as like a connection of the two love languages.
I
like
see that
gap.
He's making an effort, but I think that he'll eventually get tired of making an effort.
Because I think it's good they're communicating. I just find their conversations very boring. And I think now I just think there's probably 7 other conversations they had right after that made them
fun,
flirty and way better, you know?
Yep. Definitely wouldn't be surprised.
Every conversation they show, I'm like, oh, they're not.
Well, making it show that they don't have the connection. That's true too.
I think they're doing it on purpose. Whereas I think they probably have a great connection, but they're not showing it really, and they're just showing these like lame conversations they're having. Like that conversation just sounds silly to me. I'm just like, that's lame. Like
I know it's like, okay, great, you're communicating, but like I want to see the connection. I don't want you to talk about how you're going to make an effort to make the connection happen. You know, let me see it.
Have to make an effort to cuddle. Like it's weird.
I mean, it's never been a thing for me. I've always been able to be physically close to somebody that I was dating.
And if someone's not cuddling me, I'm not asking them to cuddle me. I'm like, I don't like you because you're not cuddling me. I'm not even giving you a chance. Because I'm like, you're weird. Like, it's obviously something you're not into, or whatever it is. Like, if that was my thing and that was their thing, like, I don't think I'd want to like make them be like that or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So even like with like kissing, like if I don't like the way that somebody kisses, it's done. I wouldn't be trying to teach them how to kiss better. I'd be like, nope, we don't connect this way. Like, this isn't good. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting death stares by Brazil here. Jayquan says, I'm from Connecticut, and when I moved to North Carolina for 8 months, they considered me as a city boy. Okay, so I guess Alabama is just in a whole considered southern and country. And so anywhere that's not maybe in the South would be considered city boy. Okay, more pavementy, not less like country, and I don't know. I've never been to Alabama. I got it though. Okay, bye. Oh, bye, Anna. I didn't know you were gone. Bye. Johnny says exactly whose heart rate would go for Cal and what the fuck. Yeah, who was it? It was one of the girls, right? The new girls?
Laurel.
Oh, it was Laurel. Yeah, I mean, she should just maybe just follow that. Just follow that, maybe. Like, I don't know. Do I want to see her with Calvin? Do we want that, guys? Brazil's like, no.
You guys, I think I like Calvin more than
Hell
you guys do.
no.
You guys don't really like Calvin, whereas I don't mind him. Like, I think he seems nice, and I'm like kind of rooting for him a little bit to like maybe find something. So he doesn't seem like a player. He seems like a nice guy. He has more personality than Connor. Connor was just like a little like wuss that just would fall in love with whoever told him to fall in love with, you know? Like, whereas Calvin looks like he's got something
Sean,
going on.
I'm gonna turn on my computer because this is so choppy. I literally feel like I'm in the middle of the ocean. Is it choppy for you guys or just me?
Sometimes.
It was choppy for certain things.
A little bit. But it's fine. It's been fine now.
Tion,
but oh, maybe you're delayed actually.
I'm gonna turn on my computer, but I'm gonna just like listen, but I'm not gonna probably talk much because it's super choppy. I'm turning on my computer. No problemo.
So Jayquan says Connor and Benny both did their interviews with Entertainment Tonight. I haven't watched the whole thing of Benny's, but I've watched Benny's a bit and said that he's been out of a relationship for 4 months, but learned a lot from his experience on the show, so he would try. So yeah, I don't know if you were on when somebody brought up that Benny apparently had a girlfriend, and so it was brought up on the Entertainment Tonight exit interview, and he said that he's been out of the relationship for 4 months. And then also that it might have made him feel like he wants to revisit that relationship. So he probably had a girlfriend going into the show, and he's going to see if he can get his girlfriend back.
So annoying, these shady people.
But it's like they're 24. Like if you got someone that was like 29 or 30, I know that's not the demographic that they want, but more likely they would be more serious about a relationship. Like no matter what, like we think Johnny's hot and he made these stupid moves and he's like an idiot and how he's communicating sucks and all this stuff. But he's 22. He just started drinking legally last year.
23. Like they're all so young. All the girls are like 26, 27. Why would they have way younger guys than girls when guys are already more immature anyways? You have to have. The girls should have been like 24 and the guys should have been 27. Like
absolutely. It
doesn't make any sense that the choices they made. Like I feel like they're just like I don't know. American producers need a good head shake.
Right? Jeez Louise. Oh, hold on, where is this? Where are we? Holy, what's going on? Again, I don't know what we're talking about there. Divine says, stop you all about Caleb. Divine, I know that you're there to support Brazil for sure, but it's just kind of what I'm seeing, and I feel bad. And I was actually watching another podcaster that was saying that they're actually not feeling Caleb at all, and they think that he might be playing a bit of a game, saying that he might not actually be that into Justine, but knows that
a friend that says the same thing. They think that
he's trying to win.
Yeah.
I know that's a very controversial thing. I don't want to believe that at all, but it's something that other people have been saying as well. Not just, I don't necessarily think that he's playing a game and he's, but there's people that do believe that as a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Anna. Okay, I'm sorry. Johnny Bravo says, I found the banter in the background from Sally, Johnny, and Justine and Sally interesting when Carrington was dancing. Yeah, they're just like, oh my God, I can't look. Yes, I mean, they had fun. The girls had fun with it for sure. Like they were screaming like women do. And it's because like women never really get that many lap dances. It's so awkward and uncomfortable that like you have to be like silly and screaming. Jayquan says, I've been Caleb in one relationship and Johnny in another. What are you doing, Jayquan? Depending on the connection with the girl, so I can see where Caleb is coming from. Fair. Mary says, my husband was never a cuddler, and I still have to remind him that I need to cuddle, but he is the most committed man ever. I hope that she doesn't compare Johnny's passion to Caleb's. Okay. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I think if he's working on it, he's working on it. I hope he works on it, and I hope that, like, I like them. So I'm just not seeing the spark, but I'm probably being tainted.
Oh, and I mean, we're probably used to having that be not something we have to work on. Pardon?
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me? Am I?
Just talk, and we'll see what happens.
Am I? Okay, sorry. I hope I didn't interrupt. I guess I'm always told I'm the boy in relationships because I don't like cuddling and I don't like that physical touch. Like I'm the exact opposite of what Pisces like physical connection is supposed to be like, or like their love language. So I'm always told I'm like the boy in relationships. And there's still no one to this day that's made me want to cuddle like hardcore. Like to the point, like when I sleep, I like to sleep on my own. I don't like anyone touching me. Like I don't know, I'm just like weird like that. And so I guess I'm kind of on Caleb's team in that sense, that I've had multiple people tell me that that needs to be the case. Like, well, I don't know, you just seem like you're not interested. You seem like this, like, or whatever. And so I don't know. I guess I'm just.
Well, I think that
I can
like not having that level of intimacy and putting that border up and not allowing yourself to cross that barrier with a particular person is a way, I think, of protection. So maybe in your case, like you, oh, is Karyn gone? Karyn and Brazil are gone? Okay, well, anyways,
no,
we'll go
I
to the
hear
next.
you. It's a struggle. I'm sorry. You're just like choppy. So my computer is almost turned on.
No, but anyways, what I was saying was that
I'm the boy in relationships, and so it's like a little bit frustrating, just because I don't like cuddling, I don't like the PDA, I don't like any of that. So I see
but
where Caleb's
I
coming
think that
from,
that
and I think
might be.
and I have. No, sorry. What were you saying, Sean?
I was just saying that it might be, though, a way for you to protect yourself and protect your heart and not allow people to get close to you. It could be because you traveled around a lot when you were growing up, that you didn't necessarily want to make those close connections. And so you feel more confident and comfortable being on your own and without allowing someone to really cuddle you and take care of you and stuff like that. And so not saying that that's wrong or bad or anything, but it could be a reason as to why you don't allow people to get close to you in that kind of way. And it could be that like that for Caleb, but it also could be that he's just not interested in getting to that level with her fully. He's going to work on it because he wants to work on it, but I don't know if it should be something that you have to work that hard on.
Well, Brazil, when you're with a guy and they say, "Oh, you never cuddle," like, "Oh, you're not interested in me," do you try? Do you like make an effort, or like, are you just like, "Well, that's just not who I am. Sorry."
That was to you, Brazil. Did you not hear it? Did you not hear it?
Honestly, I can't hear you.
Can you hear anything? Can you say it again, Karyn?
If you're with someone, a guy. Oh,
she can't hear you. Okay. So Mary says, but do we not see it because they don't show it? The hideaway? That's fair. I mean, that's a possibility too. And I'm sorry, Caleb looked like he was about to lose his mind after the dance, and he yelled, "That's my baby" at the end. Absolutely. And I was saying, I haven't said this to you, Karyn, but even to Justine, or to, she'll be happy that I said that, to Brazil, was that I feel as though it could be because her family, she doesn't want her family to see her in very intimate sexual kind of things in the show. That could also be another reason why the hideaway wasn't shown, because maybe she asked for it not to be shown because she doesn't want her family to see her in that light. Possibility, but just another potential. But then also, though, it seems that she's okay with showing overt sexuality when it's like the car wash challenge, or when it's the strip tease that they're doing for these guys. She's able to do these big passionate kisses and go over and do the splits, which is fine. Like, it's great. I love it. I've been a go-go dancer before, so I get the character that you kind of can put on. But yeah. I'm wondering if that also, though, is like, yes, she can do it, and he finds that sexy and hot, but I don't see any of that version of her whenever they're interacting in the villa. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But remember what we said night or yesterday, that we think that she can blame that on it being a challenge because her parents.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. But I'm like,
so choppy. You guys are playing really hard.
I actually have to go anyways, ladies, because I got to
go to work. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
You're so cute. More Pisces back on this show because we are cleaned up.
Well, there's like, so yes, I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll have me back on again.
I'll always have you on. You can come on any day you want. If you want to come on every day, you can come on every day.
Karyn MacKay, not Karen MacKay, y'all.
Yeah, bro. Okay, have a good day, girls.
Yeah, thanks for hanging. Bye.
Okay,
bye, Karyn. So yeah, what, Karyn, can you hear me at all or no? No, you can't?
I think it's better now. I think maybe when there's 2 iPhones. I'm loading my computer right now. I'm so sorry. I feel awful.
So Karyn was asking you, when you've been in relationships and the other person was saying that you weren't affectionate enough or didn't cuddle enough, did you make that effort to try, or like how did you respond to them saying this about you?
Yeah, I tried. It's just, I guess my love language is not physical, and that's where I think I struggle with being labeled like that. But you and I have talked about this before, that like I feel like, to me, personality means more than this, obviously. And so I mean, I could have someone that's like Caleb look wise, but be honest, like as much as I have empathy for Carrington, but Carrington personality wise, and like I would not be attracted to them. Like you could have someone Calvin look wise and have Caleb's personality, and I would be all about them. So it's, to me, I feel that like I would never be offended the way Justine is about, not, I don't think she's offended, but I think she just really communicate that difference that they do have in regards to like physical touch, and you know, her feeling like maybe he doesn't want to touch me, and that's like might be a problem, like what you're saying, like that if you really want to touch someone, you're going to touch someone. And I have had that with people, but it's not all the time. It's like at certain times, like, you know, like I'm really into them, but then like when it's time to go to bed, like I don't want to cuddle, like I'm trying to go to bed. And so I don't know, it's just different. I just think the fact that they're able to talk about it and not get offended and have that be kind of like a deterrent in their relationship speaks volumes. Because let's be honest, like if you're really thinking about it, I don't think Johnny and Sally have really talked about things that are relationship heavy.
Well, I mean, they had to deal with Casa Amor. That was pretty relationship heavy, I'd say.
Like, but I'm saying,
because they haven't had that as like that's not an issue that they have to go through, right? Because they are very comfortable within each other's physical space. And so I'm agreeing with the fact that I'm happy that they are both willing to discuss it and work on it within their communication. Absolutely. I'm just saying that I don't know if it's something that can be worked on, because I feel like innate chemistry is something that you don't necessarily have to like have a discussion about. And so, yes, as I said from the beginning, is that I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed together because they've been working on having a very strong friendship and that foundation. But at the same time, I can see them not staying together after Casa Amor or after the Love Island ends, because they don't have that spark when it's day-to-day stuff. Maybe it will be different when she feels as though.
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
I said maybe it will be different when, you know, they're outside the house and she might be able to be fully herself and fully flirty without having to worry about her parents seeing stuff or whatever. So maybe it'll be different then. I'm just saying now that regardless of the fact that they're having these conversations, which I think is great for communication, I just don't think that they should be having these conversations right now when they're supposed to be so into each other.
I guess what I agree with you to a certain extent. It's just, I think that when you are like looking at a relationship that has gone through adversity, I think you're going to look at Johnny and Sally as like they went through adversity via Casa Amor. I think Justine and Caleb are also going through that, but in trying to connect their love languages and trying to connect those dots to get them to be on each other's level. And to me, I think that's more interesting because I've been in both of their situations. Well, mostly Caleb's situation, just where like someone's like, you're not very like affectionate, you know, like you don't really want to hang out all the time. And I'm kind of like, I need my own time. I need my, you know what I mean? So I feel like I resonate with that more.
We also talked before about the fact that we make time for and we make feelings for the people that we're mostly interested in. And so I'm just curious as to whether or not there's lack of interest, but they're working on having more of an interest in each other. I just think the fact that they're working on something that I feel should come naturally is why I'm saying I don't feel that they have the spark that I think is necessary for them to have a long-term committed relationship. I think they're working on it because they like them the best out of anybody else in the house, but I don't think that that passion is there between them. I don't feel that it is, but they're both want to work on it with each other because they definitely really like each other.
And I think, honestly, at the end of the day, I think that's all it takes is that want and that will to do so. And I think that has the potential.
We'll see. I don't see the spark yet, so I can't be convinced of a spark that I don't see. But I'm happy that they're working on it. So Divine says,
because I want that for myself too. Like, I want to find someone I'm able to like connect with on that level, and so I think I'm kind of projecting a little bit onto their relationship. And also just they seem to be like very wholesome people. So I'm not saying you're wrong, like at all. I think
if I was in a relationship with somebody that I just started something new with, that I was really excited to be hanging out with and like want to touch them all the time and talk to them all the time, and they didn't, I would think that would be a deal breaker. Like if they said, okay, like I'm going to work on it, I'd be like, okay, they want to work on it. Let's see how it goes, whatever. But if it didn't change or improve, like it would be a deal breaker, and I probably would be deuces. You know what I mean? I don't think that I would be trying this hard.
My exact opposite.
That you would say stay in it? I can't hear you. What?
I like that doesn't be around me all the time. Like I need someone that like lets me have my own space. I need someone, you know what I mean? So I feel like
my point is, like, I don't necessarily like people being around all the time, but the people that I want to be around all the time, if we're not on the same page in that regard, it's a deal breaker. I feel like how we want to be loved should just be our own language that we develop together because we have that spark. We don't have to be like, hey, can you do this? Hey, could you do that? Can you change the way that you do this so you can make me feel like that? Right. Yes, it's great for communication, but I feel as though when relationships work the best is when you don't have to have these conversations, because you just naturally vibe and flow within each other without having to talk about what you need from them. You know what I mean? Especially in the beginning.
Effortless in a point.
Effortless, exactly.
So it's like effortless. Yeah, okay. I know I see that. And there was one person I've dated where it's been like that, but it turned out to not be like that, like after the honeymoon stage. So I think it was
I mean, and that's when maybe the conversation starts coming in.
In that moment of time, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it was so nice to
just chill. Just chill and like have fun.
But, so I totally see what you're saying. I'm actually going to switch over to my computer now because it's loading.
Sure. Okay.
So be right back.
So Divine Me says CBS is not showing the best of Caleb, and that's true too. I mean, we kind of been discussing about how CBS has been showing a narrative to make Caleb not be, seemingly the best couple. And so absolutely I could be eating my words, and maybe they do have all these moments that I'm looking for, but they're only showing the moments of any sort of discord between them. And so I could be a sucker right now to the edit. But from what I'm seeing, I'm just not seeing the spark and the ease of a new relationship. And I want to see that between them because I want them to work out so badly. Mary says, but do we not see it because they don't show it? Yes, exactly. And I'm sorry, Caleb looked like he was about to, oh, we said this already. Is this one? Honestly, I can see why you feel that way, Chantele, but they really aren't being shown at all. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there, Anna and Mary and Divine. Like CBS is creating a narrative, and so it isn't allowing me necessarily to see all the other sides to the relationship. I want to see them having fun. I want to see them flirting. I want to see them doing silly stuff. Like I want to see them in a relationship. I just don't want to be seeing them having all these, labored conversations about showing how they're working on their relationship, because that is contributing to me not feeling like they have a spark. And so I agree that I could be being duped here by the out edit, just by not being able to see all the different things that are going on between them. So I agree that I could be very wrong.
I have a tweet from Anna.
Uh-oh, is she mad?
No. Okay. It says, how dare y'all hide the hideaway scene that Justine and Caleb had from US? Show it to us now. 1, Justine never really wears makeup to bed. they usually only do that when they get cute for the hideaway. Hashtag give us the hideaway scenes. Hashtag Caleb. Hashtag Island USA. I think we saw his picture yesterday, but
yeah, that's we have part of that as our thumbnail. I put that picture, half of it.
Yeah.
And then them going to the hideaway as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, and no, I was gonna say that I think Chantele did a good job of putting like the whole theme for the episode was where was the hideaway, because I think a lot of America's wondering the same thing, and I want answers, yo.
Yes, I do want answers. I want to see these people be falling in love if that's what's happening. I don't want to be like fishing for it. Like, are they really like? I'm looking at like this. I'm like, let me see that kiss. Like, I want to see it, and like, so I don't feel as though because I don't see it means that I'm hating on them as a couple. Like, I want them to work on it. I want them to be together. I think they look gorgeous together. I would love to see them be the winners at the end. Like, I think that would be great. I'm just saying that from what I've seen so far, I don't see the spark that I want to see that like gives me the goosebumps and makes me excited. And like, I did cry when she wanted to be the girl chosen, then he came around the corner. Beautiful moment. But I haven't really had any other moments that I've been kind of, caught up in their romance. I'm not on the ride with them.
Okay, so I will say it here now for everyone in the chat. I will start a change.org, and I don't know how to get a hold of all of you, but if you follow me on any of the links, I'll post it there, and then maybe we can get something going, because I think it's only fair that we actually see and know everything that's going on.
For sure. I'll definitely sign it. I'll post it, like promote it for sure. Cause like, I want to have more information so I don't have a biased opinion. Mm-hmm. And, I'm just talking about what I'm seeing.
Of course,
so, it's just my opinion. It's just my perspective. And it's only from what is being shown. And that's kind of like, we talk about Big Brother all the time. It's because we're Big Brother super fans and we watch the live feeds because we want to have the whole story. We want to be able to make our decisions on how we feel about certain people or certain scenarios that are happening in the game and have my own perspective instead of what the show has decided for me to see. So I do hate that I'm a casual watching Love Island and having opinions about people's relationship, because I'm sure there's a lot going on that would allow me to have a completely different opinion of all the couples.
Even for Calvin, like why does every single person, as much as I don't have any intrigue about Calvin, why does every single girl say that he has swag? Like, there's something
Show me
that
the swag.
Yeah, like, so I agree. I think maybe just the change.org would be more transparency overall, and then especially regarding Caleb.
Divine Me says to Mary, you nailed it. It's true. Like, I mean, we're like, this is 100%. We are in support of knowing more what's going on. I want to see more of Caleb, 100%. I want to see them have a spark. I want to see their relationship grow. I want it to be so undeniable that they are the winner that CBS can't fudge the results. But it's not what we're seeing right now, and it's not what I've experienced so far. But I want that. Just know that I want that for them, okay?
And I believe that you do want it. I mean, I don't think that you're that malicious person that would not want that.
Oh my God, I want them to be in love for sure.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just, and I almost appreciate the argument, because I just I love standing up for what I believe in. But yeah, no. So no one come for Chantele. She wants it, but I just think we're not being shown the full story. I know we're not being shown the full story. So
that's so fair.
Let's go for CBS, and because honestly, with Big Brother and everything, I've been needing this drive to do so. So I'm down. I will lead the movement. Let's do it.
Oh my God, so fun. Okay, so Jayquan says, Brazil. Okay, I'm starting to see a spark with Justine and Caleb. I thought that the conversation was good because it shows them communicate with each other. Yeah, we're seeing, we do think that it's good that they're communicating with each other. I still just think that you shouldn't have to have this conversation in week 2. But, I don't know.
Yeah.
Johnny says Justine's heart rate was raised by who? Who was it?
By Carrington.
Oh, right, because it was so surprising.
Yeah, and Sally in the background was like, I thought it was going to be Johnny, because she was like,
I thought it would be Johnny too.
Yeah, just because it's like if I saw my best friend getting that happening to them, like, oh my god, don't drop her. Oh my god, like.
And like how he came out with such intensity, I'd be like scared for her. Reela says, okay, some of us prefer to see great communication while others are okay with toxic relationships. Oh my gosh, as couple goals. Johnny is young, yes, therefore he's probably too young to be crowned a winner. Yeah, for sure. And I could see what you mean by this toxic couple. You know, I do feel as though what he did in Casa Amor and what he did with Sally with the sunglasses were very indicative of a potential future toxicity within the relationship. But then I also, as you kind of noted as well, he is young and he probably hasn't really learned how to deal with these emotions. And so instead of canceling him right away, like fully cancel, I'm just like being cautiously optimistic for them as a couple.
Yeah. And again, it's kind of like shitty because as much as we think like Sally is like that strong, independent woman, I really do believe that that's the case. But I wonder if she ever had a conversation with anyone about the sunglasses thing bothering her. Like, or did that only bother us because we're watching from the outside and we kind of like have this bird's eye view? I wonder if it bothered her. And if it didn't,
she did giggle, and so the giggles to me sounded like a giggle of discomfort.
No, and she looked uncomfortable. I was gonna say she looked uncomfortable. She still was kind of like, and the thing that frustrates me is like they all wear sunglasses during the day, and that was the other reason why when I was kind of like, okay, Carrington doesn't know her eye color because there's maybe only a couple hours of the day where she doesn't have sunglasses on, and they're not in the dark. So
it's true.
I looked at Laurel's eyes, and they are like probably the same color green as mine. And so there's just like things like that it, and I've been saying this from the beginning, I want live feeds on Love Island because I really don't like and or appreciate the edit that we're getting. And I wonder if she did tell Justine or did tell anyone else that the sunglass thing did bother her.
Yeah, I'm curious more about that, and I'm sure at the exit interviews people will ask her about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just hope she can be truthful. Like,
oh, and realize also though, I feel like people like want to see the best in people as well, and so that's could be why people. I don't think that they're couple goals at all, but I could see why people are wanting to give him a second chance because they don't want to think of him as being a horrible person.
Johnny and Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said from the beginning, like we both said that we're not really taking into consideration what the ex has portrayed, and we're just kind of taking it all in. It just confuses me the way that they're cutting it, I guess. Like
Divine. Okay, noted. Divine. Divine says, I haven't heard anything meaningful conversation between Sally and Johnny.
That's what I was saying, like about the outside world, like they're not really working toward, and you said, yes, they've had to like overcome adversity because of Casa Amor, but that's a situation that happened in their little bubble. Like the things that I think Caleb are talking about are things that are going to affect them outside the world, like, you know, her past relationships and how they communicate with each other physically and or emotionally. I think that's kind of the point I was trying to get at.
Well, I mean, we did talk about not seeing everything, and so we definitely haven't seen that because we know that they've spoken about their families and meeting each other's families. We know that they've had some conversation about that we haven't seen, and so we got to maybe blanket statement that we don't get the full story. So obviously, everybody's judgments are going to be completely skewed as to what they decide to show us, and so. You know, like I have my opinion, but like I can see it being the other way too. I can see them being like, I can see them not working out in the end. Like I can see, that CBS is making that narrative. Like I can see all these other, possibilities. Like I'm not closed off them to being actually being true. You know what I mean? And if I'm completely wrong about everything, I'm not going to be offended. I'd be like, well, I mean, that could be a possibility. You know what I mean?
No, and I think at the end of the day, the reason why I think all of us are so upset is because we are supposed to have a say in it, right? So like, why are we voting if the votes aren't going to reflect our opinions. And why are we voting if what you're showing us isn't actually the case? So I think if the voting was taken out of it, I don't think any of us would be this offended.
That's true.
So it's like, don't ask our opinion and then ignore it, or don't ask our opinion and then
change the narrative so they can get the answer they want through getting our opinion. So it's manipulated. 100%. Yeah. Realnesss says, and this is a good point. We've kind of been talking about this throughout as well, but the only reason why anyone feels that they are awkward is because CBS is doing a great job curating their preferred winners. Yeah, we've been talking about this as well, Realnesss. We can definitely see that they're just trying to have a specific narrative. Jayquan says, Realnesss on the UK version, Tommy and Molly was 20 and they were supposed to win, but the audience felt bad for Amber's storyline. And on the other hand, and Finn was 20 and he won with his girlfriend. Yeah, Finn was from Love Island 6 last winter. They were really young and they did win. I think they were still together too, which is interesting, but they had to face some troubles within their relationship as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. But they're more mature in the UK. You know, they have like these 20-year-olds, like sometimes they say little silly things, but like they want to have a more mature relationship, it seems, than American guys have been wanting to.
Because I think in the UK and honestly all of Europe, like being sexually open is not a taboo. And so I think that in that regard to the relationships, they're much more advanced than they are at this age in America.
That makes sense. Mary says, I haven't either divined me. And when they had problems, that's when we saw Johnny's toxic side. Fair. Caleb has taken Justine's issues and validated them and trying not to manipulate her or guilt her. 100%. Like I think you guys have a correct read here. I do believe that CBS isn't giving us the full story. Maybe I do feel that they have had more conversations, both couples that we haven't seen. I do feel that CBS wants us to like Sally and Johnny more than we like Caleb and Justine. And I'm just saying, from what I'm seeing, I don't see the spark between them, but I understand that it's possible that it could be because of editing and the narrative that they want us to.
Yeah, you guys, Chantele's team Caleb. She just wants to
see it. Let me see it.
Yeah.
Jayquan, I think the viewers, we interpret things differently for sure.
Yeah.
Divine Me, Brazil, and Mary, thanks for your support on behalf of the Jaleb team. I support Jaleb. I just want to see it, okay? I'm with you then. How about I just say, like, I just want to see the spark. I don't see the spark. That's it. I don't see it. I want to see it. Show it to me, CBS. Realnesss says, Jayquan, my age comments is in reference to excuses being made for Johnny's toxic behavior, and then in the same sentiment are gunning for him to win. People are gunning for him to win. Doesn't make sense. Well, I do think he's too young to win in general. I want Sally to win. I don't necessarily want Johnny to win. Or I want Jaleb to win. I do think that Johnny's too young. And we already talked about it, but you know, the people in the UK, they are more mature just in general. And so them winning, it's only £50,000. So it's not, I guess it's about 100. Oh no, it's like $80,000. But
I just think in the UK, I also think that, and the rest of Europe, I think everyone's a little bit more open-minded and just has like a different like lens on everything. And that's, you know, I wish the rest of America had it, but.
Divine says to Jayquan's true, so true, viewers' perspectives.
But the viewers' perspective is what the editors give us, and that's what's frustrating. And right. I think that's why Chantele and I are frustrated, because in Big Brother, we watch live feeds. And so it's not necessarily, when we watch the live feeds and we all know what's going on because we see it with our own eyes, and then they produce this episode 3 times a week. We have a friend, Nick, who I love to death, but he has no idea what's actually going on in the show, and we have to break everything down for him because
clueless.
He doesn't watch the live feeds. And I think I have that jaded view on Love Island because
you want to know the whole truth.
Exactly. So it's that frustration, I think, and that also that a little bit of hesitation and trust issue with the show in general, because I know that even CBS knows what the live feeders know, and they still decide to edit an episode that doesn't fully portray what's actually going on.
100%.
So how am I supposed to think that they're not doing, CBS isn't doing the same thing for Love Island.
100%. Adalby says we may not be seeing the sparks because it's not shown. Agreed.
I think we're onto something here, guys.
Jayquan says, as a viewer, even though he did wrong, I think that Johnny and Sally have the best relationship. Then watching Jalen interviews saying that they are like best friends clarifies it, but J-Love is right there with them.
Jayquan is turning a new leaf.
Johnny says, Carrington's parents were stationed in Germany for 8 years. Oh.
So it depends if they were there like 8 years and then he moved, but if they were there 8 years, like right when they arrived and he was born, if they were there 8 years before, then I would have been on the same base with his parents.
That's so cool.
Because he's 22, right?
23?
Yeah, so there's 6-year difference. So
I think he's 23.
23? Okay, I'm going to text my dad, and we'll get back to you all tomorrow.
That's going to be so interesting. Adalby girl, sorry. Also, don't forget the cute shoulder kisses in previous episodes between Justin and Caleb. I like them. I looked out for them. I said, oh, I like that. I like that he gave her that extra affection there, for sure. Realnesss, right, we have to get organic scenes of Justine and Caleb from the background of other scenes. Absolutely. They show what they want to show, 100%. Oh, my Karyn. I was like, who are you calling me? I'm like, you call me a Karyn? I was like, you selling me by?
Oh my God, is that the Karyn you were talking about when you said you have a Karyn that's not a Karyn?
No, I have another friend, Karyn, actually.
Oh, okay.
But like, my friend Karyn in Montreal, but I definitely have multiple friends named Karyn that are cool.
Can confirm that our Karyn is not a Karyn.
Exactly. She spelled it with a Y actually also, so it's
no, I know, that's so hilarious. I like didn't even realize that her name is Karyn because like I think she's so cool.
Right. She's not a real Karyn.
No.
Jayquan says, I think the J-Lo situation is like last season with Elizabeth and Zach. They didn't have no drama, but they were still able to win the season. The other Islanders have more drama. It is a reality TV show. Yeah, maybe. But maybe that means they'll win then. But the whole black couple thing, though, is going to be difficult for them to overcome, unfortunately. But if they were white and boring, they would still have a good chance.
Oh, my God. It just, I don't know.
Hi, BF. How are you? Hey, everyone. Question. Has everyone taken any of the polls on the app? We're going to go. Well, we're kind of like, oh, my God, it's so long.
I did. And I'm going to go back and see if they're reset, just like Anna said.
So Jayquan says, Nikki, I've done it around 12 or 1. I just didn't answer one question. Okay. Divine Me said Justine is still probably suffering from her last breakup. As a woman, it can make you very insecure, 100%.
I don't think she's as much insecure. I think she is
cautious.
Yes. Very self-aware. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Jayquan.
Shout out to
Karyn. I could be a sucker too. LOL. Now I can chat while I eat. You're so cute, Karyn. I didn't know that you're here. Shoot.
Oh, Karyn.
Jayquan, LOL. I had my eyes peeled for the hideaway. I know the hideaway. We're just looking for it, but I just saw those clips, and it is that the thumbnail. The 2 hideaway seemingly clips are in the thumbnail for yesterday's episode that we did. Karyn says, I agree, Chantele. I'm not a hater. I'm just not seeing it. Makes me sad. I want to see it. Agreed. We want to see it. We're not trying to like ruin the relationship. Like, we want the relationship to work. We just want to see the spark. Show us the spark, please. But that's what the thing is too, is that if they show everybody the spark, everybody's going to be fully on board with them. Like, there's not going to be any naysayers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which sucks. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I understand your point of view. I'm not hating on it.
No, I'm saying I'm sorry, though, that this is a direct reflection on, like, society on a whole. You know what I mean? That we're not allowed to see a happy black couple win a show that we're really enjoying.
And you know what's hilarious? It's everyone blaming the casting directors, but what if we need to be blaming the editors? And
both. Production, the network.
But until you brought that up yesterday, that really was not something I thought of. And so I think that's a very good point to bring up. And something into the change.org I am going to start after this episode is over.
Well, another thing too, like, I work as an actor, and sometimes like they'll say to me as like a note, not necessarily in the room, but maybe after the fact, like, oh, she's too dark. Oh, she da-da-da. Oh, she da-da-da. And it's like, oh, wait, since when? Like, you already told me that I have to be black to do this, or like whatever. But like my skin color is not the right skin color enough for you to hire me for a particular job. And so I know that this is something that comes into play. Like, oh, she's too dark. She's not dark enough. She's, you could see when they make couples on these TV shows, like they never actually make sense to what people's skin tones and like what is correct. When you see like the children that they decide to have, they're always super light skin with curly hair. Like that's just how it seems to be. So,
and I think when you brought up to me, like when I got very emotional about Ian going on Big Brother, and you were like, well, you like asked me those questions. I never been really asked those before. And I think yesterday when you were like, well, try being black. And I was like, she's right. Like, why am I so, defensive and, want that? But I have a few black cousins and a black aunt, and they're all 3 different skin tones. And I've just never really thought of them in that sense. Like I've never been like, oh, like they're black. Like they've always just been family to me. And so I think that's why, like I literally thought about it last night. I was like, oh my God, I think that's why I'm so like innately just like defensive about it. And it's true. And all 3 of them are different skin tones. So it's just crazy to see that even the difference in skin tone matters.
Oh my God.
I know. And
it's shocking.
Ever since you've been saying it, I've just been like so shocked and too optimistic, I think. Again, living in California, you live in a bubble, like everyone seems to be open and, it's just hard that.
Yeah, colorism goes all the way back to slavery, as I said before, and then also within like black communities, it's there as well. If you're lighter skin, you usually are considered prettier and you don't get treated as poorly. And I find that networks tend to want to promote lighter skin black people in their shows. So you'll see most of them will be maybe mixed race with curly hair would be the lead on a show. But how many times, other than Viola Davis, like how many times have you really seen like a very nice, dark, chocolatey colored skin black woman that's the lead of the show? There's been one.
I mean, like Kerry Washington, but
she's my skin color. She's
white.
She's not dark.
She's not nearly as dark, but.
And same network, and it's from a black, showrunner. So.
Of course, yeah, no, and Shonda
Rhimes,
yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like I feel like I'm so woke, and then it's just like these like other little things like pop up, and then they make me more sad and more like.
I mean, being aware though is like the first step. You know what I mean? It's like it's a work in progress. These conversations are difficult and they're frustrating, and I know it's just a stupid Love Island TV show, and a lot of people will come at us and be like, "Why do you have to make everything about race? And why do you have to make everything about?" And it's like, well, because it is, and
because it's a direct reflection of what's going on in the outside world, and that's what a lot of people said about Big Brother too. It's a screenshot of the actual society, and
100%.
And I don't even care. Like, I don't know. I'm just willing to do anything I can to support the cause. And I don't know. I literally am a biologist through and through. And like, we all have the same fucking DNA. It blows my mind that
there's so much separation.
Yes. Like, and I just wish that everyone could see it, but apparently we're not there yet. And
no, we won't be there for like hundreds of years, I don't think.
I know, but if that's my dying wish,
we're happening. The fact that there's all this these riots and these change and like people standing up for themselves, like there's a lot of movements that are going on, and you kind of have to fluff everything up, and then when the dust settles, we might have something that's going to be a little more heart centric and kind to others.
Vote. If you are from America in this chat, please register to vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just vote for someone in your district that you think represents your ideals. Please vote. Your vote does matter. I'm a huge advocate for it. Sorry to take this political, but
we say that for the end. Just kidding. You can say whatever you want, whenever you want. Anna says Moira is definitely boring, though. Still boring. Yes, she is still boring. No one that's came out has said anything. Actually, yeah, she's not like one bit of a topic of conversation at all. Love you guys. Love you too, Johnny. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thanks for joining in the chat with us. I don't know if this is a real person. No. Okay.
Baloo from
Hi, Baloo.
Hi, Baloo from Jungle King.
Johnny Brown says, I don't agree. Carrington has treated Laurel like a princess.
He has, but the fact that they haven't gotten to that intellectual depth to show something.
I think that could be his age a little bit. I think it could be, not learning how to communicate with people and open their hearts to people because of the fact that they've been so transient. They didn't feel comfortable maybe getting to that level because it hurt a lot to maybe leave people. And so I can understand him having maybe a guarded heart.
Tinfoil hat coming on.
Okay.
Do you think that they know, obviously, Carrington's background? I can guarantee you they ask for birth certificates and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go on. Oh, Vicky's here. Hi, Vicky. Hello.
Vicky, hi, Vicky.
We have not seen we haven't seen the first look yet. If it comes out within the next 10 minutes, we will put it on here. But I don't think it's come out yet. I haven't gotten a notification.
It has not.
Okay, I would not be surprised if they were maybe coached on conversation topics to maybe share in their dates.
Or
I wouldn't be surprised.
They happen to have, imagine how many other alternates they probably have, and then they look at, things that they have in common. Like, we're talking about the
assessment or whatever preliminary.
That we want to do for, our show.
Mm-hmm.
It's TBD, y'all. But, I'm wondering if they kind of saw that and were like, okay, maybe we should send her in, even though she's not someone that Johnny or Caleb or Carrington or Calvin would find attractive, but just to F up the relationship with Laurel, because America has stand Laurel since the beginning.
Yeah, and they might be putting in some adversity for them as well.
Because they sent in two people with apparently
intentions on him.
Apparently, what's her name? Julia was born on the same base. Apparently, she said she was born in Germany with military parents. She said she's from Germany, which I would never say I'm from Germany. I was born in Germany, but I'm not from Germany. I do speak German, so she may have been there longer. But it was just ironic that they put in two people that would pick Carrington. I don't know when that's ever happened.
I don't. It might have happened in the UK, but I'm not sure. And I feel like it's been the guy has chosen
the girls to take out.
Something like that. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, it just seemed a little odd that they both had a lot more in common with Carrington than Laurel did. So tinfoil hats coming off. But that was mine.
I mean, they are creating a show and they want to create the most drama as possible. So they are picking and choosing who they want to bring at what certain time to maybe influence a certain narrative or whatnot. So I'm sure that they told him stay away from Johnny or you're off the show.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't think that they said stay away from Caleb, but I'm happy that they've watched things and they probably just know to just stay away. Because Caleb does even make a point of saying it seems as though they tend to go for the newer couples, which is true. They want to stay on the show. They want to see if there's still a bit of a crack in there. And so it's good to know that even people coming onto the show feel as though Caleb is secure enough that they don't want to interfere in that relationship. So I like that.
We said time and time again, they go for the vulnerable couples, and those typically just happen to be the newer ones. So it makes sense.
So Realnesss says, it's absolutely fine if they want to or forgive Johnny. He just doesn't need to be the winner. I don't know if he needs to be the winner either. I just really like Selly. So
I do too. And that's what breaks my heart because I love Selly and Justine's relationship. And I know I'm not even worried about them not being friends on the outside. But the only thing that's still hanging me on, for hope, is Selly. But I think that's also jading my view because I'm I don't want her to get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she just decided to put it on and play the game. You know, just be
if
like,
she did, more power to her. I would love
maybe
her.
she's like
more.
maybe she's like, I fucking hate this guy right now, but he is ruining my chance to be the winner of this show at the end. So I am going to allow him to do what he needs to do to win me back. But in the end, I'm going to take the goddamn money if we get voted as the best couple. I mean, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not either. If she wins and she takes the money, I wouldn't be mad. I would still carry on with my pursuit to hold CBS accountable for not showing J-Lo.
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't be mad if Sully took the money if she did end up winning.
Oh, that'd be so good. So satisfying.
Oh,
he needs a bit of comeuppance for sure. Anna says, I think it's because in the UK and most of Europe, you are considered an adult at 18, and in America, it's 21. Absolutely. And in Canada, it's 18 or 19, depending on which province. And so that makes a little bit of sense too.
America, you're considered an adult at 18. You just can't drink until you're 21.
Well, I mean, I think that she's kind of saying that you can do anything an adult can do, so that you can vote. Like, can you vote at 18 or do you vote at 21?
18. Okay. It's the only difference is like drinking at 21, but
even that
I think that levels up you as an adult. So
absolutely, because even like Canadians, for instance, like we start drinking either at 18 or 19, whatever. So you don't see like Canadians going wild in Miami for spring break because like they just turned 21, and it's so like alcohol and like being sexually curious and all that kind of lifestyle. Everybody's gotten it out of their system at 18. And so at 21, 22, they've like, okay, I've already done that for a few years now. So I can maybe be looking more so into settling down into a relationship. But if you've only been kind of like, you know, open sexually and going out and drinking and going one night stands and girls, like it's still kind of like a novelty to you as well. And so
of course,
I think that it is a good point though, like not necessarily just being considered as an adult, but I think that being in like bar and that kind of culture, they've had 3 years of being in that lifestyle, so that it's not like they wouldn't necessarily be tempted by a Mercedes.
Right.
They've been dealing with a Mercedes for 3 years.
Of course. And like even the only difference you get like as an 18-year-old is one, you can be tried as an adult, and two, you don't have a curfew. Like that's the main thing. And you can have sex with whoever you want, essentially.
And it says, I think that maybe why I can't get Johnny's age as an excuse for his behavior. Yeah, I mean, he's been shitty, and he should. I wish that Sully hadn't taken him back. I wish that he did get a punishment, but I'm just going to support her and hope that she is just playing the game and that she has her feelings on lock and that she's in control of this more than it's showing us right now. I did not want them to necessarily get back together. I wanted her to. I didn't want her to choose Benny
in any form.
Pardon me?
I want her to succeed in any form.
Exactly. Karyn agrees with Brazil. We're on to something.
MacKay.
No, Chantele, I said goodbye when she was leaving. Oh, okay. I know. I saw the bye, Karyn. I'm like, why are you calling me a Karyn? Don't worry. I'm not offended by anybody, any of you guys that are anti what I have to say. Like, I appreciate your comments, and like I love having the discussion, and you know, sometimes my eyes get open to possibilities, tinfoil hats get put on, and new perspectives are being added into the conversation. So I will never fully poo-poo anybody's opinions, and I won't be offended if you don't agree with mine at all, or you do sometimes, or you don't. Like, I will not get offended.
Chantele and I disagree all the time, you guys.
Pardon me?
I said Chantele and I disagree all the time.
Absolutely, because I'm always right, and I have to deal with some. I'm just kidding.
You see where we disagree?
Thanks, Brazil. Happy face. Cool Karyn. Yeah, she is a cool Karyn. Of course she's a cool Karyn.
I know, Karyn. Please come back for more podcasts. You're the realist.
Not the realist answers, but.
Oh, yeah. Not the realist, but you're like the realist Karyn.
It's true. Jayquan said same thing. Some islanders are probably falling in love. Might just have love for each other.
And I think that's a very hard thing to separate in there because they are in a vacuum, and yeah.
Realist says every positive polling question I put Jaleb, and every negative I put Johnny. I will put a damper on him off my ass off. Do it, girl. Like,
Guilty.
prove a point. I prove a point if you can. Like, it would be nice for Johnny to know that he's not really liked by America. I think that he needs to know a little bit of this. It might happen when the lie detector comes, or if they do any of these tweet games again, like he might still get more, she might get more information about what the viewers are thinking. And I'm fine with him getting a little bit of another punch, you know?
I did the same exact thing. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen the poll yet. Jayquan says, I choose the positive Johnny Selly. I choose the positive Johnny Selly because besides who would cheat. I had to be honest based off of what I've seen, though I think that he learned his lesson. I don't know if he's learned his lesson. I am worried for the real world when super thirsty like Mercedes times 10 are all over him and know that he is easily swayed. Like they would be ready to jump on that in a heartbeat.
And that, guess what? Chantel's going to move to LA. I don't think he has the Mercedes. I don't know how you pluralize that, but over in Virginia, but they have them in LA. And
there's so many. There's thousands, and they're ready to jump on it. Karyn says 100% they were like this commonality is going to reel Carrington right in. Yes, exactly. So, you know, with the producers knowing everybody's background, I know that they are specifically curating a certain order when people are coming in, like, oh, let's bring her in. Like when, okay, it's part of it's a game for them as well and a puzzle. And they're trying to create a story and a narrative. And
it's just so unfortunate they have to go for like Laurel is so loved by America.
I know.
Too.
I know.
Like, go after Moira.
Right? So, but they're family. Moira's last name is CBS. I'm just kidding. Vicky says Carrington, like every one of the new girls that comes, is not surprised by Laurel, that Laurel deserves better. I want her to try with Calvin. Vicky, I don't love Calvin, but I'll let her try.
Either, but
I want her to go for whom she likes, and I want them to like her back as much as she likes them. So
yeah.
That's Carrington. I want Carrington to fuck off with Lakeyrn because she's not cute. Her body's hot, but like she's not cute in my opinion. Yes, they like dance music and they have, you know, autistic family members. And is that it? I think that's it.
I know, but I can't tell you, I'm such a autistic
advocate,
and it just isn't enough for me for that little commonality to
that wouldn't get me, but they also could just be showing this like maybe they're trying to influence Carrington to make it look like it's a really difficult decision, so they have a storyline. Like hopefully let's hope for that. Prazel, hi Prazel. Are we really surprised Carrington is interested in the new girl? He literally never knows what he wants. Absolutely, he does not. Jayquan says from the last trailer, I thought they were both interested in Calvin until the show came on. That's true. Well, they both, even on the show, they talked about Calvin a little bit, but they didn't seem to be looking into him. So hopefully this episode, maybe they start talking to Calvin and make Moira go a little squirrely. That'll be interesting. Anna says for some things it's even 16. Yeah, I can imagine that. In this, I definitely remember when I visited in the summers in the UK that people were just a lot more mature. Like even when they were 13, like I was there for a summer when I was 13, and like we were mature. We were like going to the park and sitting on the park and smoking cigarettes and buying a beer. Like we were definitely like adults when we were 13. Anna says, so like buying a house and getting married and legal sex in Scotland. Wow, at 16, that's pretty young, actually. Seemingly pretty young. Anna says, I wish Sally and Justine could win together. Me too. That would be perfect. I would be full on happy with that. I love best friend relationships. I've always had a best friend in my life, and I really appreciate seeing the realness between them. And I guess that's also the standard that I'm putting Justine and Caleb through, is that like I want to see at least the Sally and Justine vibes. You know what I mean? Like they have the banter. They have like, you could tell that they really like each other and they're very comfortable with each other. I just want to see more of that. Jayquan says, over the time of being over at the villa, Johnny and Sally have grown close to J-Love. That's why Johnny mainly included them in what was, and why, if both couples work out, I can see them on double dates. Yeah, that'd be cool. It does seem like Caleb wants Johnny to do well. Like he's pretty excited. And so what do you think about how Johnny set up the whole date for them? Or not the whole date, but the whole like grand gesture that Karyn's been talking about with like asking Sally to be his girlfriend. And what do you think? They all look like waiters. Like, make them wear a little bit of a cuter outfit, like all black, maybe. I don't know. These white shirts and black pants is like, you guys working a Christmas party? Like, like I don't know.
Like they're his subservience.
True.
I don't know. I just didn't. Again, there's a problem with Johnny. Like it didn't get me excited. I don't think that Sally or he deserves Sally.
No, I don't think he deserves Sally.
And
But
so for me watching it,
she
I'm
really
just
likes
kinda
him.
like, I know she does, and I'm going to value her feelings in that, but it almost hurts me to watch because it's like I don't want her to be with him.
I get it, but I did cry because I know that's something that she wants a lot from him, and like
she said to Justine, like right after that conversation when she was like, "I just want Johnny to ask me to be his girlfriend." Justine's like, "Huh."
It's coming.
Yeah, and I think Justine's a good sport for it, and I respect Justine so much for. Though, I'm going to say it, this might be a hot take, but I think if Justine was her best friend on the outside and she saw what was going on, I don't think she'd approve.
Well, I don't think Sally would approve either, so.
I don't either, but that's what bothers me.
She's not getting the full story either, and it's the risk that she had to take coming on this show is that.
Yeah, and I'm not holding her, like, I mean, I'm holding her accountable, but I'm not blaming her for the decision that she made at all. I think I probably would have made the same one because at the end of the day, like, it's going to come down to what she sees and her feelings about it, not what anyone else says. So.
And we are seeing the whole picture, and so it's very difficult for her to have the audience's perspective because she's in it. And so let's just send them love. Let's just hope that that he is being genuine in his feelings, or let's hope that she is being cautious, optimistically cautious, and maybe she's going to take the money in the end. Let's just hope that Sally is making the best decision for herself, regardless of our opinion of what she's doing.
And it's hard to compare them to Caleb in that sense because I wonder, in an unperfect world, if Caleb would have hooked up with someone in Casa Amor, but came back and owned it and did everything he was supposed to. I wonder how America would feel about them.
I think that they would be crueler. I don't think that they would have forgiven him still. I think a part of the issue too could be because he's a black man. Black men and infidelity usually go pretty hand in hand. We're usually really ready and waiting for us to be like, oh, he's a cheater, baby mama drama. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of negative connotation towards black men and how they treat their partners. And so, yes, I know what Johnny did it's true. It's something that he did do, but we also tend to really, make them pay for this. If it was Carrington that did this, okay, in the exact same way, I don't think that we would be as furious as we are with Johnny. It's just an observation. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I don't necessarily think that I think that we are upholding Johnny to a different and higher standard. And it's also, I think, from all of our prejudices towards like how black men treat women at times.
Yeah. And I think on top of how much we love Sally.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like if it was a white guy, I don't think that we'd be this mad at them.
If it was with Sally, I think so.
maybe because it's Sally, but I just
I think because it's with Sally, and I think you're right. If it was with Justine, I think we would be just as enraged. But
yes.
I think you're right. No, I think you like same with Laurel. Like, say Carrington was doing what he was doing, but he was black. I think that you're right in that sense.
They would be like so mad at him.
Right, but
so mad.
Exactly. So. But we don't know Laurel as much. We don't love Laurel as much. But Justine and Sally are like America's prized possessions. # protect Sally and Justine at all costs.
So this
but
appraisal's
I what you say.
kind of agreeing here. So people are saying that Sally shouldn't have taken Johnny back, but what do you guys expect her to do? Choose a new guy she barely even knows, who we discover has a girlfriend on the outside world. What's worse? Exactly.
I know.
I'm saying, like, let's just give some compassion to Sally making the right decision for herself in that particular moment, and that she doesn't necessarily have all the facts, but she's following her heart in this moment, and she is falling for him, regardless of her not having all the information and not seeing what we see. What she's experiencing in that villa is allowing her to want to explore that relationship with them. So let's not condemn her for making a choice that she doesn't see the full picture on. When she comes out, she might have a different perspective and be like, okay, I'm not really into this guy. That's not who I saw in the villa. And she might have a change of heart, but I can understand from where she's coming from that she can't see it. And I get it. Karyn says, so I found myself answering all the negative questions with Johnny as the answer, even though I forgave him. LOL. Hey, I haven't done it yet, Karyn, but I feel like it'll be the same.
There wasn't a lot of negative questions, but the few that were, I noticed myself immediately going to Johnny.
That's fine with me.
Which was crazy because I don't want to be biased, but the few that are, I think you'll do the same.
I think so too. Like, I mean, as much as I have my opinions, like I do try to see all perspectives. You know what I mean? Right. And like I do try to make what I think is the best decision, or you know what I mean. I don't think I may have a bias, but I'm open to all angles. You know?
Right.
So Divine Me says, "Glad you're honest. I like the discussion, and that's what we're here for." Thanks, Divine. Yes, I do love the discussion. I was a champion debater in high school, so I love getting my point across.
In college, I won first place in the intramural debate. And my partner and I left because we didn't think we won out of 90 teams. We were like, oh, there's no way we won. And we left, and we went to class the next Tuesday, and my teacher was like, well, the winners are actually in this room, but they decided to leave before the ceremony. And if you won, you got an automatic A in the class, no matter what. You didn't have to show up for the rest of the semester.
That's so good.
And it was the first third of the semester. And so my roommate, she was my roommate in my sorority, but Alexis and I were we were sitting there laughing, who the fuck is it? And she was like, she came and handed us medals, and she was like, it was you and Alexis. And we were like, San Jose State intramural debate, 2015, 2016. But yeah, it was crazy. We won. And
impressive. So you got two debaters right here. So this is probably why it's so perfect.
Yeah.
Is that we could both get our points across quite well, I think. And I mean, I love the discussion because I don't not see your point of view. You know what I mean? And I think that you at most of the time see my point of view as well, but you just don't allow that that's just not your filter. You know what I mean? You're I can see it being that way, but that's not how I want to kind of view it or whatnot. You know what I mean?
And we had such different upbringings too. So we both bring into I think pretty polar opposite backgrounds.
Very true.
Yeah. And so I think we both process things differently. So I think it's fun to see.
Karyn says both their their parents have been, their moms, have been divorced 3 times is their other commonality. But I mean, yeah, but that's not that big of a deal. But I know that Laurel was just kind of, oh, she knows all these stuff about him. But it's the commonalities things. We've been saying it a few times. You know, it might have been a producer planted, oh, they have some things in common. That could stir some shit up. Sorry, both their moms have been divorced 3 times. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you were trying to say there, Karyn. Thanks for the clarification.
Thanks, Karyn.
Realnesss says, Calvin and Moira can go home. I know. Sorry. Bye. Oh, my God. I agree. Lakeyrn is not cute. Exactly. Neither is her name. Sorry, neither is Julia. I agree, Realnesss. I think Julia, what I liked the most about Julia was on the date that she is a bit of a nerd and she likes doing fantasy role play stuff. I like that about her. But yeah.
I was going to talk shit about Lakeyrn, but I'm named after a fucking random country. So I decided against it.
Were you actually named after the country or did that? Yeah?
Yeah, and neither of them have been to Brazil. My mom just said if she had a girl, she would name. But my brother's name's Dominic, but that's very Italian. And then my dad wanted to name him Nick, but my mom was like, you're Italian, you should do Dominic, and then you can go Nick for short. And then my half-sister is named Kennedy. So I'm like, okay, cool. So my brother and my sister got really cool names that like are like dope, and then I got a country.
Yeah. Do you have a middle name?
No.
I like your name being Brazil.
Do you want to hear the worst story about a middle name? So when I was born, my dad was so pissed at my name being Brazil that he was like, no, fuck this. And he, like, the birth certificate, he, like, put nut as my middle name. So, hear this. So when I was 16 and I was, like, with my dad and we had to, like, I was getting my license and everything to drive, he was, like, he contacted Germany and, like, the Air Force Base. He had to get, like, a reprint of my birth certificate because it was, like, lost with my mom. And I saw the original birth certificate and I was like, Dad, and I grew up without a middle name always. And I was like, Dad, what's crossed off on my middle name? And he was like, oh, God, I've been waiting for this moment.
So in actuality, your middle name is Nut?
No, because it's crossed off. But it
crossed off doesn't mean anything. It's still there.
No, I by law have no middle name, but it would have been Brazil Nut.
That's hilarious. I mean, Brazil nuts make quite good milk, nut milk.
Yeah, they're bomb, but fuck my dad. Like,
that's so funny. I love your dad. He's hilarious.
My dad thinks he's funny. And Dad, if you're watching this, Dom, I know you're watching this. Go give Dad shit about that. My brother doesn't have a middle name either, so.
Interesting. Mine's Renee.
Renee?
Yeah.
Chantele
Francis. Yeah, that's me. Jayquan says, Dad, as viewers, we care a lot. I'm wondering how Johnny and Sally would feel watching. Yeah, they're not going to be happy. They'll break up if she watches. Oh, hi, bye, Rachel. Hi, I'm on way to a volleyball game, but I wanted to pop in for a bit till I get there. Yes, I mean, we've been on for a really long time now. We're probably going to wrap it up as soon as I get to these questions. Karyn, we don't usually go this long, but it's just we've been talking and talking and talking.
Rachel, good luck at your volleyball game. I played volleyball in high school. Get a girl.
Good luck. Good luck. So Karyn says, okay, let's just be positive. Yes, that it has fallen hard for her. Absolutely. And he's learned a hard lesson and he would never want to hurt Sally again. That is what I'm going for, Karyn. I want to put as much positivity in this relationship and hope that will be enough. I want Sally to get the relationship that she is hoping for with Johnny. I don't want to be proven wrong here. So yes, I agree with you. Let's have an open mind and open heart about the relationship. Oh shit, Vicky, you can't say this right now. We went through this an hour ago.
Yes. He's into Justine. Yes, absolutely.
I think that he is into wanting to make it work and he's not into anybody else, but I don't know if he's that into her. He has showed times where he's been into her, like when she's playing different characters that are a little bit more sexually aggressive or promiscuous or whatnot, and I've seen him enjoying her there. But if I were Justine or if I were Caleb, I would not be happy in that relationship.
You, as an Aquarius, would you even be willing to entertain that conversation of?
I probably not. Unless wait, no, I said probably not.
Unless I cared about them.
No, that's actually not what I was going to say. I was going to say that if I wasn't feeling it, I probably would. It would be a deal breaker.
Sorry, I saw Divine Me's comment.
Oh no, shit! What did she say? I'm worried about Sally because if you wouldn't tolerate the behavior in the normal world, why should you accept in Love Island? Is it for the money? I mean, she doesn't see the whole picture though, so I just don't. I can't judge her on not having all the information. We don't have all the information on the outside, so how are they going to have it on the inside? Why are you? Is it coming at the bottom? She's coming for me. Okay. Jayquan says, I think because Justine and Sally are fan favorites because people were looking at Mackenzie wrong after Casa Moore.
Yeah,
I mean, Mackenzie was never going to be a fan favorite, I don't think, but I think people enjoyed the drama that she brought into the villa.
Right.
Guys, what if Johnny and Sally goes in the real world? Do you think that Johnny's ex might kind of mess things up? I think, yes, the ex will mess things up. Yes, when Sally watches Casa Moore, she's not going to be into it. I don't think that they will be able to get through it. they might try once, and then I think that he's going to do something again that's going to bother her, and then she's going to be done with it. I don't think that they have long-term relationship status. So I think that she's just saying yes because she doesn't have all the information, and she didn't see it for herself. Vicky says, did the new look come out yet? Check Brazil. We haven't seen it yet. No.
I'll check again, but I don't think so.
Divine me. I had to be honest. I don't even like the Sally Johnny relationship. After quarantining for 2 months, multiple COVID tests, and re-aging my whole life to be on a show, I'll pretend for 50K. I mean, that's also a thing. Maybe maybe Johnny and Sally were just like, listen, like we have a chance to get to the end and win this. Like, let's work on a relationship and see if we can still win this. Maybe they did have that conversation that they would never show on the show, saying that like, we're going to work on this to see if we can win the game. Maybe.
Well, I'll be damned.
Jayquan says to Vic, it's not out yet, but I normally get a notification. Yeah, same with us. Divine, I'm sorry. I love them. I want them to work out. You know this. But I just sometimes people's actions. It's people's actions. You know what I mean? Wait, what does that mean again?
Cracking the fuck up.
Cracking the fuck up. Yeah, that's like. Can you please have your name always be Brazil Nut from this point forward?
My dad still calls me Brazil Nut. It's so
that's
very
so
safe.
cute. That's
No,
an
it's
excellent
not.
story.
Until you see Brazil Nuts at the store, and then you want to like hate yourself.
When people ask, "Are you named after the nut?" You have to be like,
God, yeah. My God.
Karyn Brazil Nut, love the country Brazil and love your name. It's exceptional.
I still yell at my dad, I'm glad my name was a joke to you.
I mean, it's hilarious. I love that your name is Brazil Nut. That's like epic.
My name is not Brazil Nut, my name is Brazil.
I love it. Okay, so we pretty much talked about everything, not necessarily in order, but I think we got everything about that episode in these 2 hours and 35 minutes that we've been talking today. My mouth is sore.
This might be a record.
It might be a record for sure. Karyn, do you have anything else you want to say? I know we've been talking for a long ass time. I'm sorry, Divine, that I don't see the vibe there between them. I want to, though. I'm hoping for it, man. Like, what else can you want from me? Sometimes it just ain't there.
Sometimes.
And if I don't feel the vibe with somebody, I'm like, okay, yeah. Okay, I'll say the unless then would be unless I want to maybe work for it, but it's never worked out.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming. My God, there was a lot of you, and I appreciate every single one of you.
Yes. Any last questions before we say deuces?
Shout out to, I can't see all the comments before I switched, but from what I have, Deja, Anna, Jayquan, Divine Me, Mary, Nick, Megan, Margot,
Rachel, Karyn, Divine,
Rachel, Karyn, Johnny Bravo, Realist Answers, Vicky, obviously. Yeah.
And if we missed anybody, well, I think we at least got your question or comment that we talked about, or maybe argued about, or had an opinion about. But just to remind you that, like, no matter what, we love having these conversations with you guys. Like, it is that we're staying on here for 2.5 hours of our life because we like doing this. Brazil changed her appointment today because she loves doing this. And so just know that, like, everything is in good fun. We don't want any to be actually offended. If I've said anything to offend you, I really do apologize because that's definitely not my intention. I'm just putting it out there. I don't want anybody to be offended by anything that I said or say in the future. I do have the best intentions for all these couples and for our communication in this little community that we're building. So like, you are all of our people, and we love that we're spending time with you. We're getting to know you guys, and you're hearing all these stories about like Brazil's real name and whatnot. Great recap. Peace and blessings. Thanks, Jayquan. You're always here first. You're so great. We thank you and appreciate you as well, of course.
Divine Me says, love you, Chantele.
I don't see it, though. Where? Oh, there it is. Love you, Chantele. Thank you. Brazil, let's continue. Feel the Caleb's fine.
I got you,
For
Fran. I
five.
got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yes. Well, hopefully, I want to see it. I want to see it. Show it to me. Show me the fucking love, yo. Talk to you later, Realnesss. Bye.
Bye, Realnesss. I love you.
Brazil, do you want to talk about anything that's coming up in your life?
I'm just gonna say it now because we're close. But
Hashtag J-Love. Okay. I'll hashtag
know.
J-Love for sure. I just don't know if they're going
that's always
together.
my final message. Hashtag Team Caleb, hashtag Team Sally. No, but what vibe? Not just Jayquan. You know what I
Okay,
think?
do you know what? Okay, do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of I moved to Vancouver from Montreal. So Montreal would be probably the most fun city in Canada. And I lived in Montreal for 8 years, party all over the place, like super social, whatnot. Then I moved to Vancouver that I thought was completely boring. And I call it no vibe city. And people try to convince me that boring as F, Vancouver has a vibe. This is what I'm feeling is happening right now, is you're trying to convince me that Caleb has a vibe because it has nice mountains and it has fresh air like Vancouver does, but I don't feel the vibe.
Okay, anyways. We're not going to end on that note, you guys.
No, we won't. We're going to end on Sequester Mini, October 7th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
At 5 p.m.
Perfect. I definitely will be streaming it so we can critique the game. Jayquan, it's there. Okay, divine. I mean, I'll pretend it's there for you guys. I'll pretend.
Shake my damn head. I can't wait. And you know, like Chantele's had like all these like I told you so's throughout the whole season, but guess what? Okay, I'm not from Canada. I don't know what that means.
That means like what are the boring people in California? Like they're just like they're wishy-washy, they're boring.
Karyn is also a wishy-washy Pisces like myself, so
no, but we're talking about what's like in California though. Like California is very similar to Vancouver. I am a New York person, even though I haven't been to New York as an adult, but over being an LA person. You know what I mean though? Like I like that energy, that vibe.
I mean, I'm a very SF person in comparison to LA, so and it's the same state. So it's a hard statement to have.
I would say that maybe
like SF and LA.
I've only visited San Francisco once.
Yeah, so they couldn't have the like. Why do you think I stand NorCal so hard over SoCal?
No, I get that, but I'm saying like it's like a West Coast vibe that Vancouver has. Obviously, it's the same coastline.
San Francisco and New York are much more similar than LA. LA is its own thing.
But I can't stand LA. You know what I mean? Like
no, I cannot either. I hate it here so much.
Anyways. I don't know, but LOL Caleb is the Vancouver of Canada. It's so true.
Karyn, I will change the name of your spelling if you don't knock it off. You'll go from Y to E real quick.
Oh, and a short haircut. Like 1 second.
The K+8 haircut.
And thank you guys for hanging out with us. Sorry that this was so long. Obviously, you can watch this in bits, so you can have your own opinion. Don't come for me, but like if you have your own opinion, say it really nicely in the comments, and we will respond to you. I respect everybody's opinion, even if they're not mine. So just as long as you say it to me nicely, I can take it in. So yeah, please subscribe to Realnesss right down. Yeah, right over there, somewhere over there. Please, because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by October 18th. That would be the goal. We were excited because I feel like there has been some movement. So awesome that you guys must be sharing with your friends or enjoying what we're doing. So if you do still like this video, that'd be awesome. And ring the bells every time we go live, which is every day at between 2 and 4, especially for Love Island. You'll be notified. So find me at Realnesss on Instagram and Twitter. So on Twitter without a second E, blah, blah, blah. And at ShanFran on Instagram or at Shan___Fran on Twitter. Anything else, Brazil? Other than like, I'm hungry. Or get some
No,
Brazil
but-
nuts. I'm gonna go buy some Brazil nuts.
This is why I don't tell anyone that story.
I'm dead. I love that. Oh wait, what? What? What did I do?
I'm just on my team. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I honestly, I did reschedule my appointment because of you guys, because I love you all so much. I love the support, and Chantele has a very good channel. Please share it with your friends. Hashtag Team Justine, hashtag Team Caleb, hashtag Team Jaleb, hashtag Team Sally.
I'll hashtag them. I'll still hashtag them. I'm down for them. I'm down for the cause. I want them to get their screen time. I want to see them fall in love. I just want to see it.
So
What?
if I get a change.org set up today, and I post it on here tomorrow, like, or at least give you guys the link. I hope all of you will support it. If you do, no pressure if you don't. But
That'd be awesome. Okay, let's like construct this little letter and
yeah,
Yeah,
I will
that's awesome.
I'll absolutely work on it. So thank you guys. I love you so much. Chantele, I love you.
love you too.
Karyn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about my opinions. Bye.